Friends, if you're looking for real old school laughs, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine? Then it went woke? Well, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today. Check out our sponsor, Flip City. The link's in the description. Hit that like button and get ready. It's time. Midnight's Edge in the morning, kids. It's hump day. We got to do Superman and Lois. And Andre has seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And we may have some other things to discuss. We're getting started here. Sorry, we're a little late. We were waiting for the boss man, but he's not here yet. He will be shortly. We've got to get going, though. So we have Jonas J. Campbell here for a short period of time. How are you doing, good friend?
I'm doing great. I'm going to pretend like I'm in the chat, and I'll say, hail, Tom Connors. Hail,
well, hail.
Call me Chato. And hail, all my people out there in the chat. Hello.
Well, hello, but we're glad to have you in here, at least until everybody else gets here, because I know you only got a little chunk of time. Just a chunk of time.
Well, it's always an honor to be here, regardless.
Well, we're glad to have you as much as we can. And we have down below us, hanging out in his garden, just chilling like a villain. He had surgery, but hopefully he can see us, even though it's multicolored. Mr. Paul Chato, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Just call me Blind Melon. Blind Melon. I got yeah. Everything is so far down for me that up is sideways. Something.
He got the blues, but you can see it in pink, yellow, and blue.
That's right. I see the colors of the rainbow. Well, I have to till the end of this fucking month. Then I'm done.
Damn cataracts.
That's right.
Well, we're glad to have you here this morning. I'm glad you made it through just fine. I got to go under the knife tomorrow.
Oh.
So hopefully that goes smoothly.
Yeah,
but,
good luck.
Yeah. We'll see.
Never fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the pain pills, though, in the meantime. So
it's all the prep they give you that's hilarious.
Isn't it, though? So if I'm slurred speech today, that's why. So
not the bourbon?
No, I'm used to that.
It's when you're short on pain pills and you need to stretch them out.
That's right.
That's right. You just mix it with bourbon. That's what I said.
Snort one and drink the other. No, I got some minor pain pills for now until my surgery, and then Lord knows what they're going to give me after that. So.
And I'd just like to point out that this is the original Apple logo. This is
nothing
to do with Pride Month. This is the way the Apple logo was before Pride.
Paul's taking it back.
I'm taking it back.
It's almost Google colors. It seems like a rite of passage.
Weird? Even the same kind of font.
It's one of the original. It's Garamond. The original typeface was Garamond. Had to use it when we were working for Apple.
Cool. Let's see what these guys are talking about in the chat. We've got Callum Lyle here already from Australia. It's got to be like, what, 11 o'clock at night down there?
Yeah, 12-hour difference at least.
Yeah, roughly. What was the cause for the submarine incident? Because I hear it was because of diversity hires or something. What was it? Well, okay. That's a broad generalization. Basically, from my understanding, and Paul, you please feel free to correct me if I get something wrong. The sub itself was put together by, let's just say, not the best specialists in the world, and wasn't maintained by the best specialists in the world. And needless to say, on its descent, it imploded. Now, you can't necessarily blame it on diversity per se. I'd blame it more on just lack of knowledge and
engineering
oversights
choices.
and engineering choices.
It seemed to be flawed. The decision, the materials to make it with was flawed from the beginning.
Flawed from the start, yeah. No, the problem was there was no specialist, exactly. Yeah. And the design was bad. But speaking of specialists,
it's really not something that you can hire a bunch of people to theorize. You need experts, and the expertise is all there.
right.
Cameron said that he made 30 descents without a single incident, and this is the first submersible incident in the history of submersible incidents, and this was the first non-sanctioned vessel. So you got to sanction you got to get them checked out and approved. Get the good housekeeping seal of going down deep.
Well, the one thing I see out of this, and obviously, rest in peace to the folks who passed away.
No one's happy about that.
Logitech is going to have an interesting asterisk on their controllers from here on out.
Do not use us for submarine usage. No. Sadly, it's the flawed design on top of a billion other things. But we do have an expert with us here today. He's not a submarine expert, maybe a sub sandwich expert. WDW Pro is a Disney expert, though.
Tuna fish subs are always the best, and I'm talking about the sandwich only, of course. How's it going, guys?
Good morning. Hello. Good morning. We're glad to have you, even if it's for a short period. How are you doing?
Well, I'm happy to be here, happy to be back on, and enjoying the conversation so far up until this more morose kind of topic here with the submarine. But yeah,
hey, we didn't bring it up.
But that's all right.
We blame our the people in chat.
Chat about the chat.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. It's a sandwich topic too.
A topping or sandwich top? Oh, topic. Oh, Hyperguyver 2 sends in 5 and says, and to top this turd sandwich, Marvel announced the return of the Ultimate Universe, meaning more insufferable stories, now with incest and cannibalism. Oh, my.
Have you guys talked yet about the numbers that have been released for the Samuel L. Jackson Disney Plus show?
No, how bad is it?
Oh, it's real bad. It's Miss Marvel bad.
Even Samba is saying it's less than 1 million viewers, and they're generally very kind.
Yeah, it's low enough that it should be instilling panic in Disney, because from what we've heard, the future episodes are far worse than the first episode. If that's the case, the drop off is going to be intense, and there's nowhere to drop. You're down. You're sub million, right? You're not even at the million mark in terms of households tuning in.
Yeah, according to Chris Gore, who's seen both episodes, the one that dropped today actually should be the one that has all the racial ideology conversation between Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury and Don Cheadle's War Machine. We'll see if the audience takes to that, if they even see it.
Yeah, it comes out every Wednesday, right?
Yep.
I have not seen it. I've been busy doing important things.
Well, I also have things that are slightly more important to me than watching the show. I've got an entire cabinet full of Tupperware that needs to be burped.
That is important. Our Tupperware cabinet has got a spring in the back of it. Every time you open up the door, it all just shoots out onto the floor.
Well, that's an exciting Tupperware cabinet you've got there. A celebration every time you go for one.
Everyone's Tupperware cabinet is like that. Terrible review. Well, again, who cares about the show? Like, why should we care?
Well, it's hard to find a reason. I mean, the scrolls, right? And that's even. I know they're trying to stay in line with the canon, but that's a dumb name. I hate to, it just is. But the scrolls are taking over the world. They are hiding amongst us. It's sort of like the Men in Black all over again, only this time it's Samuel L. Jackson, grizzled and with his eye showing. And instead of having a fun romp through the Marvel Universe and maybe building up some extra drama, no, instead it's going to be all about modern racial issues, which you would assume are not in the Marvel universe, but which are in hours distinctly. So I don't know how it is that these writers sometimes decide that our modern events are taking place inside these fantasy worlds. It's
the thing is, it takes place in Russia, who care and so much about racial diversity.
Well, Paul, when I saw the Russian stuff, I thought, boy, talk about impeccable timing out of Marvel.
Yeah.
Because they started that before all this, broke loose, and well, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, and this all really dovetails to, Strange New Worlds, and it's not just race; it's the intersectionalism, and men really aren't allowed to do anything anymore. It's all part of the same thing. Samuel Jackson's part so far, well, in the first show was not fantastic. You're not building lead characters. Disney, absolute, and for that matter, Kurtzman Trek absolutely cannot stand heroic lead males.
I agree.
That's a great point.
It's boring.
Here's Nick Fury has been a guy who has come into any situation knowing more than anyone else.
That's a great point, Jonas. That's part of the persona. You're right.
It is an essential part of his character that he knows things that others don't know. In this case, you've had Maria Hill be the one to come in and say, you've missed a step and you're different. Okay, well, that's not really interesting. It would be much better if he discovered things on his own. And you have this fantastic cast with Nick Fury. Sorry, he's so in the role that here we are. Sam Jackson, Don Cheadle, Olivia Colman, Targaryen. What's her? The pretty girl with that's in all
with the dragon.
That won't get you in trouble at all, Jonas. That won't get you in trouble.
Well, and then
what's her name? The pretty girl.
Ben Mendelsohn. I called him Scott Mendelsohn on something the other day.
Ben Mendelsohn is the pretty girl's name. I'm confused.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a pretty girl with an Australian accent and a slight lisp, right?
Well, I know somebody who might, or at least sounds like a pretty girl who's an Australian with a lisp, and is a media sensation. Fox News star, Valient Renegade in the house.
Is he not busy doing an interview for somebody somewhere?
Wait, what? Oh, shit. I thought this was Fox News. Sorry.
Oh.
I could pretend to be Hannity. He just left. He seriously left.
Every time I turn around, he's on a bigger platform.
Oh, crap. Yeah, he just came back from Wall Street Journal interview.
No, it just worked out. I'm home today. I got 2 kids sick. So yeah.
How does it feel to be part of the mainstream?
Man. Wow.
Yeah.
Can we still trust you even though you're in the mainstream media now?
No.
How do we handle this?
I don't know. You got me. I'm at a loss this morning. I have no idea.
The great thing is you've already got your setup for a follow-up video because Indiana Jones is going to skyrocket that number.
Right?
Yeah, I put one out actually about an hour ago.
That's why I said a billion, even though you said like 900 some. I'm thinking it's going to be a billion by the time this is all said and done.
What, for break even?
No, just the amount they're going to have lost in the last year. I wish Mead was big time now. Mr. Valiant Renegade here, though. We're in the presence of a celebrity, folks. Like, he has been covered on radio stations, news outlets, Fox News, man. What is it?
But we're all waiting.
That was the name of that show?
We're all waiting with bated breath to see if Valient is brought up on the Disney shareholder meeting next, because this has made such the round. I mean, honestly, this could be something that comes up. And what a thing that will be if we are covering on the Valiant Renegade channel, covering the shareholders meeting, covering Disney, covering Valiant. That's going to be a little meta.
Yeah, that's what I started thinking about last night. Jonas and I were talking about that on the phone, and I said when it hit Breitbart, I think first, and then it kind of exploded from there and went out to a bunch of other places. And I mean, within a few days, you had articles that Sean Hannity was doing. Mark Levin was tweeting about it. And then it made its way to Daily Wire, the UK Daily Mail, KXN, CBS News, Los Angeles radio station that's been around 100 years, hit me up to do a radio interview the other day for 6 or 7 minutes. I mean, it's been nuts. And then last night, I'm in bed. I'm wiped out. I knew that Renegade Jr. was coming down with something, and he's got to miss this canoeing and kayaking camp. He was there the last 2 days. He's probably gonna have to miss the rest of the week, and he's obviously upset. 102 fever, but can't help it. I'm falling asleep last night, and then my phone starts bing. I get comments. You just hit Greg Gutfeld's show on Fox News. He said your name. I was like, come on, man. So I was like, get out of bed. I'm like looking this up. I'm like, you got to be kidding. I'm waiting for it to rewind and go, oh my God, he did. So yeah, I just whatever. Wow. Okay. So
well, you have to admit the audience that still watches Fox News is a completely is probably not the same audience that watches Midnight Edge or Valiant Renegade. So you're in a completely different demographic.
I thought you were going to go with the fact that they had lost a lot of their main audience. And
yeah, well, that would be the next step, right? Tucker or Elon Musk retweeting whatever you do.
Well, I think Gutfeld's show is still doing really well. I mean, I think that's kind of like the one show that Fox has at this point that really is
the number one
banging out the numbers like they used to. Yeah, when Tucker was there. Yeah.
Yep.
So Valiant, we also need to give a shout out because I think one of the key components for this story going viral was bounding into comics.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
John Trent over there ran this very early and named you as an analyst, and he's been doing that as of late over on Bounding into Comics. Is he's decided that why should we give deference to people who are wrong over and over? Why do I not just start calling these commentators who get it right all the time what they should be? And so he did that, and I think that was a key component to making it all take off.
I agree.
So kudos to John Trent and Bounding into Comics. They continue to push culture in the right direction.
I think he was referring to Analyst.
Oh, that makes more time. Well. Now I understand all the colons in the article.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Wow.
Well, that's why they call me Paula.
Oh my God. Yeah, no,
here it is, kids.
To John and to Bounding into Comics. Yeah, John's been so good.
His house.
So
it seems woke Disney fairy tales equal low ticket sales. Box office analysis of Disney's last 8 studio releases show a shocking loss of nearly $1 billion.
I wish I could do my eyebrows like that. That's impressive.
I can do that.
That's almost a lawsuit.
Not bad.
It's gotten so bad, Cruel DeVille is selling dogs at Chipotle. Pocahontas had to open a casino.
Jokes.
And Peter Pan had to cancel his gender affirmation.
He's no longer going to be Peter Pan sexual.
Sorry, Peter. That's according to a number crunch by prominent YouTuber Valiant Renegade.
Great job.
Big budget Marvel movies like Black Panther 2, Ant-Man 3, as well as animation bombs like Strange World and Lightyear, and my favorite, Snow White and the 7 Drag Queens.
Not far off.
I think
I don't think we covered Snow White and the 7 Drag Queens in the video. Just to stipulate,
we need to fact check the word prominent.
I think Paul's getting a little jealous
Paul,
here.
I didn't write the script.
That's where Newsbusters is going to nail him.
He's so famous.
Paul, you need to start aping his viewers. That's what you need to do.
He's infamous.
Yeah. The
infamous. No, I'm infamous.
El Guapo?
I'm infamous. You're famous. Okay. I've been written up as infamous by the Bounding into Comics boys. And that's I took them to I'm like, what do you mean by infamous?
Infamous, like inflammable.
It's like that ain't good. They're like, you're more than famous, man. No, it's like I don't buy that shit.
Flammable and inflammable.
Do you know what a plethora is?
No, I do not know.
I would not like to think that somebody. I'm not going to go down that road. I can do that whole movie.
I'm going to go on every live stream that I can and quote Three Amigos. I already did it.
I know, right?
On the
Which is funny because I watched National Lampoon's Vacation last night.
The 4K.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten it yet. I've got to.
They didn't change the damn soundtrack again. It's still the fucking VHS soundtrack.
Are we doing a show tonight?
Yes, I hope so.
Okay,
that's the plan anyway.
I was watching the updated version of Black Mesa.
What is that?
Half-Life remastered.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, but I think David's right. We're famous, but we're nothing as nearly as famous as Mexican Iron.
No way.
No.
He is legendary.
He is the head of the Mexican Avengers. How could we possibly even stand in his shadow?
Window manufacturers worldwide know that name.
He is like the Iron Sheik. I watched that documentary that everybody was praising. And through most of the documentary, that's all he's doing. He's going, I'm a legend. I am a legend. It's like, that's Mikey. Callum Lyles.
He has rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah. Callum Lyles says, lastly, have any of you heard of the YouTube cartoon called Hell of a Boss? Somebody has brought it up before, Callum. I don't know if it was you or somebody else. But I have not got a chance to check it out yet. But I have heard of it. Anybody here got a chance to see it yet?
No.
I haven't seen
Anybody
it.
want to fake it?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I love the scene.
Just have to take a picture of myself.
I'm saving up
at the
the faking
start
for
with
Indiana
celebrity.
Jones.
Where the
He's
diverse.
taking his picture with celebrity Valiant Renegade. Sorry.
That's what he's doing. That's exactly right. It's his bestie.
Stop.
Taking my besties this morning.
Okay. I'm snapping a shot of all you guys and Valiant Renegade.
Radiant as always.
It's all about the Renegade, baby.
It is.
Those guys. Yeah.
I need
Yep,
to
I
hang
gotta go
out
get
with
the Weird
famous
Al
people.
album.
What were you about to say there, John?
Oh,
we need to
no,
make a
I
parody.
was going to fake a thing about, oh, yeah, I saw the beginning scene with the diverse lead showing everybody that she's a boss. Oh, wait, no, it's just somebody who mentions it in the dialogue, how amazing she is. And I've been prepping for some more everything wokes. And there was a character that I didn't realize that all of the things that are true about the character versus all the things that they say about the character, so separate. It's all informed as opposed to shown on screen, and that's always the problem. Anyways, moving on from Hell of a Boss. I haven't seen Hell of a Boss.
No, I haven't either. So I should check it out, though. I know it's been brought up before. Waltman4 is here, and he says, and just like that, Warner, I think he means Warner Brothers is now starting to implement an AI system to decide which movies to greenlight. Deal was made a few years back. I saw something about that, but I didn't really get to research it, so I can't comment too much on it. Has anybody else looked into this?
No, it's a dumb idea.
Paul, you're the gear porn guy. I'm surprised you have.
I haven't heard of it, but it's a stupid idea. Just hire people who know how to make decisions.
Yeah,
Right.
Great point.
Right.
There are some places in which
this.
But Paul, the problem is there aren't any people left who know how to make the right decisions.
I see this as a flawed
I think that's
idea
an
anyway,
admission of
because
failure.
all this thing is going to do is kind of go by what people picked before, and if they weren't picking winners before, then because that's the thing. It's
Well, look
here's
what's
what I
happened to
picture.
the music industry now that they're using the same tools to pick hit songs.
Mm.
Look what we got. The same four
Right.
chords over the last 20 years.
That's right. The four-chord song.
Homogenization.
That's all we got, and it's terrible. I mean, who listens to
Homogenization.
modern pop music?
well,
The
that's
only
what
way that I
happens
can see
when
this
everybody can be
working-
a pop star now. Yeah,
In Silicon Valley, there's a scene with Christian Diamantopoulos' character, the 3 Comma Club guy, the billionaire, and he doesn't want to tell his kid to go to bed, so he has this like Alexa-like thing that he's obviously controlling with his phone that's telling his kid when to go to bed. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, the Alexa's telling you to go to bed. This is the only way that I can see this working. If there's actually a studio executive saying, oh no, the AI says that we need to do this. This with a strong male lead.
That's pretty clever. I'll give you that. The idea that it's just a way to toss off the burdens.
it almost seems like
AI picked it, not me. Nope.
yeah, it seems like Disney's already using this idea, and that's how things like Indiana Jones would get greenlit. Isn't that right, Andre?
That sounds about right, because there's no human that could possibly have done it.
Well, that sounds like it's been a sterling experience for one Andre over there.
Oh,
balls! That like telegraphs everything we need to know.
Let's
So, yeah.
be completely honest. People who are in large corporations and especially at C level, not sea level, SEA, I mean C
In Florida,
is that they have been hiring outside consulting firms for exactly that same reason. So if something fails, they can blame the consulting firm. So this method of not making tough internal decisions is I don't know, 100 years old.
But think how cheap it is now that you can do it with AI. It's
But now
fantastic
also
now for the
you can
companies.
blame-
Yeah, but
so
generally,
how is it
like being
different from hiring McKinsey, the most incompetent consulting company in the world.
yeah, but that's like the thing. All of these consultancy firms, they're completely inept and incompetent across
Correct.
the board, across industries. But still, it's a very good gig if you can get it.
Oh my God, it's fantastic. I
yeah.
actually left McKinsey. We were a consultant for them, and I fired them because they were just, I can tell you stories of what incompetent.
Oh yeah, it's no good to be the one that's actually hiring them and paying their bills unless you get like some kind of kickback or something. But being them and you paying them, that's a sweet gig.
It's like a diversity VP. I mean, you get paid, but you don't do anything. So
correct.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
you start your own Etsy line.
Exactly.
Hey,
so Andre, you've just seen Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny.
Yeah,
is that correct?
That is correct.
And we're
How much vomit have you lost so far?
Yeah, just like did we do this super chat from the Walkman Force? We can remove it from screen.
Yeah, we've covered it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I don't have it.
All right, so let's talk about your traumatic experience.
Come on, Viking.
As some of you may have seen, I did a tweet earlier today where I did. Let's see if we can bring that up on screen. Tom, can you bring up my tweet? I think that the picture of it was quite telling.
That one was popular. Yeah.
While you're bringing that up, can you show me on the film reel where the Lucasfilm company touched you?
Indeed.
I was in the middle of something else here, but okay.
Yeah.
What am I doing now?
Show you where they touched Harrison.
Just go and find the tweet of that I put up earlier today of me attending the IMAX premiere of the movie.
Here, I'm going to drop it in the chat for you.
The throngs of people, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, shoving their way in to watch the last Indiana Jones film.
Update: 3 more showed up after the preview.
Yeah, this is true. The picture that we're about to see, I took this when I arrived, so this is taken 8 minutes after the listed start time of the movie, and 3 more people crammed into the screening afterwards. So we were it was really
over capacity.
Yeah, absolute overcapacity.
The entire population of Norway is in there.
I will also say that you can't really tell from here, but I brought the average age down.
Oh wow!
Oh no!
Wow! So did the concrete infrastructure of that theater buckle?
Barely. Well, I made it back fine. So I was able to survive the stampede to get into Indiana Jones.
Did you hear any muttering comments from any of these people on the way out?
I'm going in.
No, I decided to stay away from the rest of the pleb. I wanted to sit and enjoy the movie. I didn't hear anything. I only heard like dead silence. Norwegian audiences tend to be quiet. If you have just dead silence when it's not supposed to be dead silence, that's generally not like an
older Norwegian crowd.
Sign. Yeah. With
an older Norwegian crowd, you're saying you could actually hear the catheters being changed inside the film.
Yeah, kind of. So, yeah. But and also I will say that the highlight of the movie was actually before the movie began, and I suspect that this is going to be around the world, since the movie is co-produced, co-financed by Paramount, and Paramount has Mission Impossible. Leading up to the movie, there was no other trailers, but there was like this 3-4 minute behind the scenes sneak peek of Mission Impossible, where they filmed that opening stunt, which was filmed in Norway. They emphasized that several times, but again, this was nothing just uniquely for the Norwegian crowd. So I anticipate that's going to be attached to the movie all over the place. That was the highlight of the whole experience, was the 3-minute Mission Impossible preview. It was all downhill from there.
Oh, man.
That's horrible.
I'm assuming that was the YouTube video or the video that they shot. They put on YouTube about a year ago for the MI7 behind the scenes with that shot.
I
diving
have
over-
not seen it, so
Oh, I'll send
I
it to you.
cannot say.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised. It didn't seem like it was like, because it was obviously something that was like filmed there while they were doing this stunt, talking about how it was a matter of like the measure of success of this was Tom Cruise not dying.
Right.
And yeah, like he still got the basis. So basically that, and also how like they had to get everything perfect, the light, the clouds, everything. And today, the day they were filming was just perfect. So yeah, so that was pretty cool, and that was kind of the highlight of the movie, or at least of the whole experience. And after that, the movie began, and I will say this: this is very important to keep in mind, that the whole movie has been spoiled for everyone ever since the Cannes premiere. So if you want it, you can read everything that happens in the movie, scene for scene, beat for beat, more or less. There were like a couple of more things I picked up on since I saw the movie myself, but story-wise, everything is broken down. Like there's no fake leaks; it's all out there. So there will be spoilers here. If anyone has any specific questions or something, send them in a super chat so we see them, and yeah, I'll break down everything. No issues with that. Here's the thing, though. This is really two movies. It's not one movie; it's two movies. Because I found myself, when I was watching this as the movie started, I was like, man, I'm really not looking forward to this review because everyone is going to hate on me because this ain't that bad. And of course, I'm not going to lie. If something isn't as bad as expected, or even at parts kind of okay, I'll admit just that. And here's like the thing: the first half of this movie is actually pretty decent. The best part of the movie is the opening that takes place in 1945 in Berlin during the end of World War II. I mean, that was very Indiana Jones. The worst thing about it is in certain scenes, spotty de-aging. I mean, in some scenes, the de-aging was done really well. In other scenes, not so much. And you could tell that they would be better off deep faking rather than using their own proprietary bullshit de-aging technology, which has some very clear limitations. But that opening scene, that was very Indiana Jones. I mean, that's something that could have been filmed in the 1990s, honestly. It really wasn't that bad. When we get into today, then the first thing to kind of like do is to get over the fact that the happy ending from the previous movie has been undone. Now, this is a big ask, of course, because basically we learned that his son from the previous movie was dead now, and he died in a way because of Indiana Jones himself, because the only reason he enlisted was to piss off his old man. So it was something that was perfectly avoidable. It was just he wanted to piss off his old man for whatever reason. So he went to war, he got himself killed. And then we are told in the as Indiana himself relays later on what happened, that it was Marianne who couldn't deal with the grief and he couldn't support her. But later on, we are led to believe that it was actually him that was the problem the whole time, that he lost himself. So you have to kind of like, that is a big ask of the movie.
So
But
if I can ask, are you saying he has depression in this film?
Yes.
Oh.
You don't really see it so much, but what you kind of see is how alienated he is from the world around him. Like, he doesn't care about the moon landing one bit. And then he's at the university. None of the students respect him, care about anything he has to say, anything like that. So he's someone that's kind of like out of touch with the world. He's alienated. The world has moved on beyond him. And on top of that, he has lost his son and he has lost his wife. So he really doesn't have that much to live for or anything. So those are kind of like the asks that the movie asks of you, basically. And if you are willing to grant that, then for the first half of the movie, this ain't that bad. This still is very much so an Indiana Jones movie. And the reason I stress the first half is because for this first half, I mean, not even Fleabag is that unsufferable. Well, of course, she's like a know-it-all when she crashes his university class because she's the only student that cares and knows anything. But up until that point, she really isn't that bad. She's not that unsufferable. She's just kind of like there and everything. We get introduced to the villains. The villains are pretty good. Like Mads Mikkelsen, he's pretty fantastic as the movies. What's his name again? Werner von Braun. Because he's obviously modeled after Werner von Braun.
I was going to say, did they actually put Werner von Braun in this film?
No, they don't actually put him in it, but he's obviously the model. I mean, this guy is literally the guy that got NASA to the moon. This is the guy that built the rocket. So that's basically Werner von Braun.
You know what they say between the Russians and the Americans is that our Nazis beat your Nazis to the moon.
Yeah, and that's entirely true. That is entirely true. One would not have gone to the moon without Werner von Braun, because it was his technology that was re-engineered by the Russians, by Korolev, and it was him himself that pushed America further. It wouldn't have happened without him. So, and he is the obvious inspiration behind the Mads Mikkelsen character, and Mads Mikkelsen, he's good as always. Same thing with his henchmen. They're pretty good as well. So, like, all of this for the first half of the movie is actually pretty good. And that's what's so frustrating here, is that for the first half of the movie, this is a fairly decent Indiana Jones movie if you can grant the major ask that it has of you. Not everyone will be willing to grant that ask, and that's perfectly fine. Because looking at the intro sequence, honestly, as Chris Gore said before, they could have done a whole movie set like in the 40s or 30s, done it all with the aging. I would have been on board with that, rather than we've gone here. Because again, that was the highlight of the movie, was the 1945 sequence. And then it drops in quality, but it's still Indiana Jones. He's never given like the full Jake Skywalker treatment. It's never that bad. Where the movie really shifts is as the story gets going, they go to Morocco, to Algiers or something. I don't recall the exact city, but it's the moment they get there that the switch happens. That's when this ceases to be an Indiana Jones movie and becomes Fleabag and the Dial of Destiny. Because that is when Indiana Jones suddenly becomes a side character in his own story, because from this point, it is no longer his story, it is Helena Shaw's story. She even has her own short round that gets dragged along with the adventure.
I've heard that he this new character is almost magical in his ability to get things done.
Oh, we're not going down this road again.
He completely is. I mean, this is like some kid from the Kaspar, whatever it's called, like that thing in Morocco, where that I don't know that. Yeah, basically, it's just like some local kid there, and he is this technical wizard that can drive this moped that anyone can. So there's nothing special about him. But yeah,
talk to Ray.
He's maybe he's an ancestor of her, or descendant of her, or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, this kid can fly a plane.
Oh,
he just walks into a plane later on in the movie for the first time, and he's like, "Yeah, I can do this."
Wait, he didn't actually figure out nuclear fusion and create the bomb himself?
He bypassed the power cup link?
Well, if there ever was a need for him to build a nuclear device, I'm sure he could do it. So far, there was need for him to fly a plane, and he could do that.
Flying a plane, though, I mean, when it's like pickpocketing or rewiring something, there's some language here of if you have a person who has to be resourceful in their life. Okay, maybe they've learned all these things. Maybe they had someone in their life that, oh yeah, this is the right way to get past the cops, that kind of thing. But flying a plane, that's would
that's
imply
a different skill.
Yes.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we will be losing WDW Pro. I just want to say thanks for hopping in. I know we only had you for a very limited time, but a pleasure to see you here, my friend.
Well, you're welcome, and I hate that I'm missing the best parts of the film. Darn it. Gosh darn, how can I possibly leave at this point? But Andre, here's what, before I go, and I know you're going to get to this, but I do have one curiosity that I'd like to hear directly from you.
Go for it.
Will this film make even the normies angry when they leave the theater? Or is this just going to make fans angry?
Just fans.
Okay.
Because, again, the ending is a little bit unsufferable, but I think that the only ones who are going to be made angry are the fans. There's nothing here that's going to really piss off the normies. I don't think so.
Thank goodness there aren't that many Indiana Jones fans. Otherwise, they might have a real problem on their hands.
Yeah.
Well, there aren't that many normies either based on the demographic analysis by Deadline. So that's the problem. There's not going to be any normies there to pick up the slack.
Right, at the $55 million domestic opening, low end on the domestic opening range right now.
Has it dropped to 55 now?
No, that was the bottom I was hearing.
Okay, that's what I've been predicting for months.
That's the doom and gloom one. Maybe that came from you.
Oh, what does Valient know? He just wants another appearance on Fox.
Hurry up and get on a Gutfeld. Oh my gosh.
All right,
gentlemen, I will be listening in.
with it, so yeah.
Later all.
Take care, buddy.
Bye, WD.
Take care.
I just got a comment on my recent video this morning regarding the box office coming up. I think it's brilliant, so I'm going to quote it here. The Dial of Destiny is the WNBA of the franchise.
Oh, nasty.
What's the WNBA?
Exactly. There we go. Okay.
There you go. Topper. We used to work for the Miami Heat in their marketing department, and we would go both to the Miami Heat games, and I can't remember the name of the female club that they also paid for, and there'd be like 3 people in the audience. It was sad.
Oh, it's the Hot Flash, right?
The what?
The Miami Hot Flash.
Miami Menopause.
I think it was the Miami Turkey Basters.
God.
Yeah.
We
got a member chat on screen here. Justin B, who's been a member for 4 months at the edge of the level, says, working on my eBay and Etsy stores while I listen, but sorry, Pro, I don't sell crappy handmade jewelry. Yeah, sorry we didn't read this out while Pro was still here. But yeah, since you already have an Etsy store, maybe you can apply for some positions as diversity chief. Maybe Netflix may be looking for a new one, because I heard they just fired theirs as well, which is breaking right now. Which
I'll make sure Pro sees that
afterwards. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, reference to Latondra Newton, former Disney executive. Chat.
Yeah. But moving on with the review, I really don't have that much to say about it, because again, first part of the movie, it's actually pretty okay. I mean, if you went into the movie without having read anything about what happens, you went in without expectations, you're willing to grant the one ask that the movie has of you, and then suddenly the fire alarm goes off midway through the movie when you get to Morocco or Tangier or wherever it is, and you have to leave the theater for whatever reason, you're going to be like, hey, I was enjoying this. What happens next? But of course, you don't want to know, because this is where everything unravels. But up until that point, yeah, fairly decent movie. Afterwards, it's the Helen Shaw show and the adventures of her own magic little short round, who's also insufferable. and and he kills a henchman in a really horrible, gruesome way.
Really?
I was like shocked by that.
Like Mortal Kombat, or what are we talking about here?
No, there's a henchman,
Mm-hmm.
and he handcuffs this henchman underwater and leaves him to drown.
Oh, that's a slow death.
I was taken out by that. I was like, oh my god, that's freaking cruel.
That wasn't the bullet to the swordsman trick then, no. So
No.
yeah. Wow.
No, that was a slow and agonizing death that this kid thought nothing about. It wasn't like, like this little kid is a little psycho.
So I got a question, Andre, and I gotta go, but I'm really curious as to whether it has real cinematography in a Steven Spielberg kind of way. Did not Mandalore, Mangold? Did he have an independent of the story and everything else? Does it look like an indie film?
It looks like it. Yeah, it kind of looks like an indie film. It did not distract me.
Okay.
Yeah, there was nothing distracting about the way that it was filmed.
Because he's a good director.
Yeah, well, as a director, he's perfectly fine. And I do believe that if someone had went to James Mangold and told him, you are free to do an Indiana Jones movie, go.
Exactly.
It would have been fine. The issue right here is that James Mangold wasn't making a James Mangold movie. He was making a Kathleen Kennedy movie.
Right.
Bingo.
And then he has done everything he can to mitigate the damage of that, which is why I say the first half of this is a good movie. The second half of this is a Kathleen Kennedy movie.
Oh.
The cinematographer is Phaedon Papa Michael. What a great name. He's also the director of photography on Ford v Ferrari. So
wow,
with Mangold in the past.
I was about to say, I mean, guys like Mangold like to use their regular crew. They know what they get. I mean, Chris McQuarrie, Tom Cruise, think of that same kind of dynamic. They know they work well together. So that doesn't surprise me at all. But it's like Andre correctly pointed out, at the end of the day, this is not a Mangold film. This is a Kathleen Kennedy film that Mangold is to some extent, one way or another, following, let's call it a paint by number set of instructions.
This is, I don't know if this got corrected, but one of my gripes with the trailer is that, and this is a great example here. There's a lot of orange, and if you had teal on here, it would pop. Whereas Indiana Jones, when you're watching Last Crusade and Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark, the blues are a lighter blue and the reds really, really, really pop. So when somebody bleeds on screen in a real Indiana Jones movie, like the first three, that red really sticks out. Whereas in this, it's the teals and the oranges. I don't know that you would be watching under that pretense.
Well, that's the color palette and the color grading that Hollywood has gotten so overly, I mean, ridiculously saturated with. This seems like the last couple of years, like that's the in thing now with color grading is the teals and orange kind of. I mean, I get it. For some films, it absolutely works, but it feels like way too many films are going with this color grade, this palette that it's just way too repetitive.
Seems to work well in digital.
Well, that's part of it, I think. It's like it's like every colorist out there is being told, okay, I know you've got a patch in DaVinci Resolve for this grade. Go ahead and cue that up, and dude, we're done. See, Paul's laughing. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's the lack of diversity and creativity of style in Hollywood now. Everything is just cookie cutter with rare exception, it seems.
Even older movies, they go and fuck with the color timing to get it up to modern standards. Yeah, that's the issue with the 4K releases right there.
But we are losing Paul here, so we've got a tipping barn who sends in $1.99 who says, Paul looks like someone with Georgia on a mind. Georgia.
He keeps demanding we pay him in ones.
Yeah, he does. That way you ain't messing with me. What's your first thought has a question for Paul. Have you seen the new Dyson headphones and what do you think?
They're really loud. They just go I don't get them.
They suck the wax out of your ears, huh?
They keep sucking out my earwax. Yeah, that's what they do.
Wait, Dyson headphones? Is it the ones I'm
I've
seeing
never
with the
heard of
face
them.
mask on them?
I don't know them. Not the Boxer Dyson.
Did Miles Dyson make them?
You got to watch out for those.
Yeah.
Put them in lava.
The Skynet specials. Black Saber says Chato made a Half-Life joke. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Oh man, that would be nice. We were never going to get a Half-Life. Well, it's episode 3. It's Half-Life 2, episode 3 is what we need to.
Wouldn't it be a life and a half then?
3/4 life.
Well, you got two halves already.
That's true.
And another half.
That's true. You're right. You're right. My math
is racist though, so
it is. Don't math me, boy.
That's right. Do we have anything left for Paul? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I bet you think you're smarter than me now that you went to college.
College boy.
Yeah, I finished college. 3 years of radio, television arts.
And that's it. Thank you so much, Six. So yeah, Paul, anything to plug on your way out the door?
No, I'm doing a futile video on the comparison, as I said earlier, between Strange New Worlds, their most recent trial video, and I decided to compare it to the Next Generation, A Measure of a Man, and also TOS's Court Martial. I was just really curious.
Two of the best episodes, yeah. Apart
from the final fight scene with the worst substituted stunt doubles ever in history.
I saw that. I watched that episode the other day. I'm like, how did they even get away with this in the 1960s?
It's so bad. But it's of its time. And
wait. They were worse than the stunt doubles from Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so apparent for a very long time.
Yes.
Does anybody remember that reference? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me. Hopefully, I'll be fully healed on Friday. And
take care, Paul.
Join you, but we'll see. And thank you, gentlemen. You're great. And Andre, thanks for the review. I hope to hear more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we've gone through most of it. What's left to cover? So basically, the new fourth round is a ferocious killer and a tech wizard who can fly planes despite having absolutely no way of doing so. And Helena Shaw becomes. And we have the ending left though. But someone else,
Back to the Future ending, who has seen it actually,
yeah, someone else,
Mr. Paulie of Latino Slant.
Paulie. Hey, Paulie,
what up?
And you said it was hot garbage as well, sir.
Aquí no más, just grinding coffee, got some pan dulce, ready to eat, and talk about this film, mi hermano.
Yeah, perfect.
What's up, Jonas? And VR, the star of was it the Fox News?
Fox News, yeah.
Fox News, yeah.
I think he's taking a call right now. His mic seems to be on.
Yeah, probably it's like Tucker that wants him on, or Fox wants him to replace Tucker.
Maybe it's Rogan.
Yeah, watch him be on Fox News.
I do have a question because it's going to be very important with my audience. Is there anything in this film that is weird gender bending ideology? Any new revelations about the experimentation of any of these classic characters? Is it woke, basically?
You mean does like Indiana Jones have like a gay romance in his past or anything?
Yeah, even in like some mental moment like they're doing with Ben Kenobi and Luke Skywalker, where they're like, there was this moment when I had an attraction back in the day, in the foxhole, as it were.
Paulie, did you pick up on anything like that?
I picked up on the modern language and the Fleabagness being brought into what should be a timeless story, ageless Indiana Jones stories. It got worse and worse as it went along. Other than that, I'm trying to think. You
There
know,
really wasn't anything. That's why you
no,
have to think about it, because there really wasn't anything,
right?
which I think we can thank James Mangold for. What there was, you obviously had like this pro-Marxist message.
Yes.
You had like a dig at capitalism, or rather like a mischaracterization of what capitalism is. You have that, and that was really it. But in terms of like being woke, no, there really wasn't anything overt. You'd have to really look for it, but there wasn't anything, to which
And
I think we can attribute James Mangold as a filmmaker.
right, and you can't even say like they protect the characters of color, because there's that black was she a fed?
Yeah, she was a CIA agent.
Right.
The sister. She was really good though.
She was great.
When I say that, she was fantastic. When I say the supporting cast was really
Oh no.
good, she
Yeah.
was among them. You can
No.
of course make the point that this is the story here is 1969. What is the chances that the CIA would have a black female operative bossing around the equivalent of Werner von Braun?
Yeah. Well,
that's to the extent of which there is anything woke, it would be that. That being said, and also this person, she was also referring to white people as cracker, but given the time, this was 1969. I think we can see through the fingers on that. But honestly, she was the closest thing to woke in a rewrite of history. But that is not the dig against the actress. She was actually really good. I liked her character, and I would not have minded seeing more of her.
Well, then let's spoil it too. They kill her.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
So there's one black character in the movie.
Yeah.
And so yeah, to everyone black watching, I hope you enjoyed that representation, but you got shot.
Yeah. I will. Going back to the I'm just going to disagree with you a little bit. I just really felt I was one of those guys that just didn't buy into what I was getting in at the when it went from the flashbacks to the 60s right away. With the divorce papers, with Mutt being killed in Vietnam.
Yeah, you see, that's what I meant. That's a big ask.
Such a big ask.
Not everyone is going to grant that ask. And if you cannot grant that ask, you're not going to have a good time with this movie at all.
Because, and maybe it's my nitpicking, but older people at that time, they just don't divorce.
That's a good point.
Divorce isn't a thing like it is today. Maybe they separate, maybe they live separate. I don't know what, but they got married as an elderly couple who finally, so that was a big ask, Andre. And then also too, because of his age and position, as far as being a college educated Mutt, he would have been at a desk during Vietnam, even if he volunteered. It's another big
right
ask.
Because the Crystal Skull took place in 52 or 54? I think it was 54.
Yeah, I mean,
so
even
he was already in
college in 69.
Yeah, and he was already in college. So you're right, Paulie. Yeah.
And let's just go with the numbers. A lot of young men at that time during Vietnam were brown and black, being killed at a abnormal rate. It's just facts, right? So it's
not just that the average age was 18.
So right. It's just a big ask. It's like, wait, Mutt was like 30 at least.
Like that. Okay, 57. So still 10 years. Yeah. So
that was another thing that I was thinking about, which pulled me out of the movie a little bit. Because I get they wanted to do this in conjunction with the moon landing, because they wanted Mads Mikkelsen's character to be basically the movie version of Werner von Braun. And so they placed the story in 1969. But here's the thing. You have the opening sequence taking place in 1945. And then the main story is 1969. Now, how many years are those apart?
Yep, 15.
So that's 24 years apart, right?
24,
yeah.
Sorry.
And that's the same distance in time between us in 1999.
Yeah. 24.
That
Wow.
Harrison Ford aged as much as he did from that sequence, from the opening sequence,
Yeah.
to the main story. That was a big ask.
Now, there's some more big ass. There's some more ass for me. Just Phoebe Waller, right? If you're a fan of hers, you're gonna love this film,
That's
right?
a big
I
if,
feel
though.
like that's a veiled insult.
And I said that in my review, like, and I know she's got fans. I've met a few, you know, whatever. But if it's like, okay, well, if you're in an action adventure film, you know, you got to sell it to me that you can fight, that you can, you know, get out of situations, physical acting. I just saw Mission Impossible last night. Haley Atwell, Palm, Rebecca Ferguson. Oh my God. I never doubted their physical athleticism and fight abilities in the film. This Fleabag, she was throwing, you know, puny ass elbows
Yeah,
and taking fools down, bro. Andre, she was taking fools down.
Yeah, that's a big ask. And also that she's able to knock out Indiana Jones in one punch.
Right. So I was what was the point I was trying to make with that? Okay, so I read the Vanity Fair, a lot of it yesterday. I don't know if you saw that. Her article her big cover story article came out. And at one point she asked about, should I be training? Should I be, you know, fight training? And Mangold, and I forgot who else, said, no, just show up to the set. We want that. I'm like, what? Because Andre, could you not tell? She couldn't run. She couldn't jump. She looked like an idiot.
Yeah, that she. Well,
speaking of idiots, we have somebody joining us. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'll even put you higher on the totem pole here. Look at that.
But Andre, did you get what I was saying?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, and that's just why I'm like saying that the first half of the movie, that kind of works. It's not too bad if you are willing to grant what the movie asks, but there is no salvaging the second half. The second half, that's the Helen Shaw show, and it was awful.
I think you're being way too kind. I could not stand it.
I can't believe Paulie's saying that. Wow.
I could not stand it from the get-go, where she basically stole from her godfather. I mean,
she did that. Yeah,
stole from her godfather. This, you know, and if she's so much into the Legend of Indiana Jones, she knows what he stands for. She doesn't stand for anything. Her character is not likable. Forget the actors. The character is written unlikable. So I'm going to go sell this on the black market. Haha, bye-bye.
And
does she have any kind of arc?
It's the moment we see that when the movie falls apart for me, because basically for the first half there, we don't see the real Fleabag character. We see the facade that she presents to the world.
Oh.
And then the mask comes off in Tangier, and that's where the whole thing falls apart.
Bro, Andre, I love you, Andre, but you're wrong. she leaves him in the dust at the university and locks him in. It's like, sorry, gotta go, bye. But I got your dial of destiny, and I don't know how to run on rooftops because I'm in heels. And I'm like, what am I watching here? And then you're having Indy being this quivering, broken man from the get-go. Come on, Andre. Come on.
So she is supposed to be a person who is experienced in this field at the start of this movie, right? She's not somebody that is like, okay, let me show you how to throw a punch or some situation.
No, actually,
like
we are led to believe that just like her own little short round, she's just innately superior, because we are never led to believe that she has had any kind of like training in this. So she just takes to it like a duck takes to water, or like her little short round takes to flying the first time he sits in a plane. And hey, Cultured, glad to see you here.
Well, I'm grateful to be here to get all the wonderful things I have to look forward to tomorrow when I see the movie.
Well, and I gotta ask, because I don't even know if I'm gonna see this tomorrow, or unless somebody sends me a link, please, since I'm getting an operation tomorrow. could her part and Short Round Junior's part been basically taken over by Ki-Hu Kwan and been much better, Andre and Paulie?
No, because he is completely. She is written completely unlikable, and
but the movie would have been better.
The movie needed him.
It would have been watchable
in the movie.
It would have been watchable.
Yeah.
You know, Andre, I just saw Tom, those 3 actresses I just mentioned, right? In Mission, I'd take any of them
out to dinner.
Well, Romy just left, so yes.
Oh man.
VR here, everybody. VR comedy, everybody. And Jonas J.
Oh, that was me, yeah.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, that wasn't me. No.
sorry.
They do have similar sexy voices.
They do.
Yeah, no. Miss Valiant probably is listening in. So yeah.
Andre, I think Jonas asked if, or I can't tell, as far as
is there an arc? Yeah, I asked if there was a character arc.
What he's saying is all us white boys sound the same.
Oh wow.
You all said that. I haven't done my race card yet, but if you want me to, we can bring it out. Because all I see
Can't
is
help it. All you white boys
No
sound like
hablas
Walter
por los
Cronkite to me.
platos por los gringos.
Well, but anyway, what was the question?
Character arc. Does Helena Shaw have one? A redemption arc?
No.
No.
The only kind of, because like in the beginning of the movie, she's like, "Yeah, I stole from you, Godfather. Bye, see ya." That's in the beginning. And
you stole from indigenous peoples anyway, so fuck.
Yeah, and exactly. And
towards
the end of the movie, she's more like, "No, I gotta save you." And that's like a big difference. Like she's very willing to leave him to die in the beginning of the movie, and towards the end of it, she's trying to save him without his wanting to, and she even gets his wife back to him. Tells her. Well, but this is very important. Just to be clear about that, there are some people who think there's this kind of Back to the Future ending where the son is alive. No, he's dead. He's not coming back. The only thing that happened towards the end there is she basically told him that, hey, you know what? I took Indy out for an adventure, and now he's his old self again. So if you go back to him now, he's more like the man that you married. So maybe now you.
That sounds like an even different ending than the other ones we're reporting.
That's what I got from the ending. What say you, Paulie?
I totally agree, and I'd say there is no arc other than she does a couple of nice things at the end, which is arguable. She's unlikable, and the thing that she does that's nice, it's a total last minute insert, which is why they brought Karen Allen in maybe 6 months ago or less. VR, someone.
Yeah, when they decided to reshoot the ending as John Williams spilled the beans on.
She throws a Phoebe, a Fleabag right hook because Indy's crying to her, "Leave me here. I want to die. I want to die." I couldn't believe what I was watching on.
That was ridiculous.
I could not believe it. I was so upset. I was so upset.
Again, I
can believe it. I saw The Last Jedi.
This works.
I haven't even gone into it.
I'm sorry.
Other than that, as I said, the second half of the movie is nigh on unwatchable.
So wait, she knocks him out, and then he wakes back up in his chair like he was in the beginning of the movie, doesn't he? That's how it's supposed to end. Well, they must have changed it again.
No,
wakes up,
no.
Wakes up in the bed that he was in before.
Yeah, because basically what happens, like we know exactly what happens. She knocks him out. She probably helped by her Short Round and the German guy who happened to be in the plane, drag him into the plane. They fly back into the anomaly, which takes them back to their own time. So that's all there is to it. Then they're back in their own time. They fly back to New York, or they end up back in New York somehow. And then he wakes up in bed, and by that time she has gone to Marion and told him, "Hey, your old Indy is back."
I thought you said she died.
Who?
Fleabag.
No.
Oh, that was that
Okay.
other chick. Never
No,
mind.
no.
yeah.
I'm talking about the son. The son.
The son,
He's the
Mutt.
one who
Yeah, never
remains
mind.
dead.
Yeah.
Mutt never comes back.
Mutt
See,
remains
I don't
dead.
remember in the other leaks and things people telling me that they're like, from what I remember, like she knocks him out and he wakes up instantly, like it was like a boom.
Yeah.
No, but that, for
blackout.
him it was. But in reality, it will have been like a day.
Then they
or
must
so
have
like
added
that.
this other bit in between there or something.
No, there's nothing in between. What happens? But I'm just saying, like, this is obviously what happened in the blank. She knocks him out, and then he wakes up in bed. What I just said is this is obviously what happened in between. Really wasn't that much.
And somehow her and Teddy, the short rump 2.0, drag Indy back into the propeller plane, go back in through the portal, and back.
Well, to be fair, it could be that the random German guy who was asleep in the plane also helped them.
I know. I'm just
Jones,
nitpicking.
yeah.
I'm just nitpicking at this point. The fact is that
why are the okay? Here's the part where I'm confused.
What are you confused about, Tom?
Because I was told basically when he comes back in time and wakes up, they're no longer getting a divorce, and there's a line implicating.
No, they've already been divorced. She's coming back to him.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No.
So basically, there's no time travel. There's no Back to the Future Part 2. This is afterwards. She's coming back to him, and they're giving it another try after the divorce.
Because Helena Shaw convinced Marion to come back, because Helena Shaw is,
because she has fixed Indiana Jones now.
Oh, that's
Indiana Jones is back.
That
is why she's coming back.
And also, too, we got to remember Indiana Jones at this point has been shot in the chest for most of the third act.
Yes,
that I remember. Yeah,
an 80-year-old man with a gunshot wound.
I mean,
he's used to it because he's been shot 9 times. He lets us know. Well, one of which was by Helena's father, who, by the way, is not her biological father. I have to say it because I do like the actor that they chose as
Toby Jones
as Helena's father. Yeah,
George Bernard Shaw.
but that actor and Fleabag, that we are supposed to believe that he could be her biological father. Again, that's another ask every bit as big as everything else in this movie.
Andre, did you not think that they said to Mangold, listen, why don't you do this movie? Why don't you put your Mangold, look to it, bring a crew. We're going to let you do whatever you want in 1945 for the first 30 minutes of this film. The next 2 hours, it's ours. He's like, all right.
It does seem like that, because you see that this is kind of like what I meant. Like the movie up until like a certain point, that's a James Mangold movie, and after that it becomes a Kathleen Kennedy movie. You'll note most of the stuff we're complaining about right here now is in the Kathleen Kennedy movie, and the stuff we're not complaining about, or what we are complaining about from before, that's the setup for the Kathleen Kennedy movie, and what we're not complaining about, that's the James Mangold movie.
And
sorry.
Andy gets a Star Wars film out of it.
That first 30 minutes was just, brilliant. I loved it, which is why,
we're in agreement then.
Which is why, Andre, I hated what they did so much. Because I'm like, you had a damn movie right there.
Yeah.
Take that story, Indiana Jones and the Runaway Train. That was just awesome.
That's the movie right there. You could just take that and expand it into a movie, and this would have been a hit.
Well, isn't that basically what Chris Gore said? The same thing, like the first 20, 30 minutes was awesome, and then it fell apart.
Bro,
you could expand that into a movie.
Yeah, we watched it together. We saw, we watched. We said the same thing. Was like,
well, and now we know why the early buzz was all like, "Oh, this movie is going to be good," because they only showed like the first portion. It was early on before they did. Yeah, I know. Before they showed it at Cannes or whatever, when they showed the whole thing, other than that one supposed test screening or whatever. But I'm so happy I'm going to have to stop you guys from talking about this piece of shit because Jonas has to leave us. Sadly, that's not fun though.
So on your way out, please give us some Morgan Freeman and tell us what you got going on.
Oh my. Well, if you would like to hear more of my voice, I usually don't talk like this unless it's a paid request from a super chat on the Pro Show, but I am there every Thursday, 5 to 7 Eastern time. And I just also have to say, I was wrong, by the way, about the timeline. 3 months ago is not when they were shooting this. December 22nd is
6
when
months.
John Williams made those comments,
Yeah, it was
which
a while
means
back, yeah.
which means Mangold made his comments about the 10 Commandments of the Force sometime more than 6 months ago. By the way,
Yeah, and they were actually trying to fight for the same soundstage as the Flash because they were doing reshoots at the same time.
Oh, two of the most expensive films ever made,
bro.
Oh, my
Actually,
like-
two of the most expensive bombs ever made.
Yep.
Right.
Hi, Slade. Good to see you, buddy. Just so you know, I'm not offended by the language. I just don't read it in myself. So thank you, Slade, for the
Slade
$5
Wilson
support.
says, congrats, VR. I would say you're kicking ass, but Jonas might get upset. Well, it's really Pro you got to worry. Look, that's the one. And Paul. Chato's really
Paul
jealous.
Or Paul. No, I'm not upset.
Not you. You're Paulie.
Oh, he's talking about Chato.
Chato's very, very upset. Right now.
Thank you for supporting Midnight's Edge and paying my way here. It's much appreciated.
He got a little
Stop
celoso.
spreading rumors.
Did you notice that? He got
He's
a little
salty.
celo- Yeah, I get like so that's a celoso, you know, like salty jealous.
Yeah, me and Slade have this silent
Celoso?
understanding. I
Celoso.
appreciate Slade. Yeah.
Was there any more here, 6 for Jonas, or is that it? That's it. All right. Thank
All
you so
right.
much, Jonas, and you take care of yourself, and we hope to have you back soon.
Thank you, sir, and I'll get
See you
busy
tomorrow.
living or get busy dying. Yes, that's right. See you,
Thank you.
on the Pro Show, Paulie. Thanks.
I'm live tomorrow on the Pro Show.
That's right. And he's seen Mission Impossible. So
Oof.
see ya.
Take
You
care.
did?
Yeah, went last night, bro.
Well, Culture wants to know what you think.
I did my reaction. Well, I mean, are we finished with the Indy? Are we...
I don't know. I'm fucked up. I have no
Well,
idea
we
what's
have a
going on
number
right
of super chats asking about it, but I
Yeah,
think
we should-
we are reaching the end of our general.
now. We've got another big
impressions
story to
about
talk
the
about, and
movie.
we've got
Baby.
a super chats and stuff to do here. David Glenn has become a member. Thank you so much,
David.
David Glenn. Pirate Queen has been a member for 9 months. It's a baby. Dr. Long Dollar sends in $1.99, or it's £1.99 super chat, super sticker. And I'm pretty sure it's a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't. Oh, we got Puppy. Distracted by Puppy.
This is Milo. How beautiful is Milo?
Milo.
Where's
He's gonna
Otis?
He's gonna be with us for a few weeks.
Oh, awesome.
Puppies. We like puppies. We got Corbin Dallas, who's been a member for 1 month, and says, hail to the greatest show, Andre. What is best in life?
Well, it's usually to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. That's
Or put the
usual
cookie down.
Wow.
Get in the job. Okay.
I was
And then
waiting
we
for
got-
someone to say "screw your freedom" right now.
Screw your feet down.
Yeah, that's the new one.
What's your first thought? Says, hey guys, have you seen some of the new concept art for the High Republic? I really hope they make these into real characters. I love one character of Grode. It's well, you mean Geode?
Yeah, that's not how you spell geode.
Oh, you must be new to the party.
Well,
We didn't talk about Geo. We were his biggest fans since day one.
Yeah, I mean, Grody.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
Yeah, Grody would be a better character name.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it would be.
Yeah.
Seriously. But yeah, no, we've talked about that a long. God, that feels like years ago now.
Well, it was years ago.
Ah, damn.
It was years ago. He's right. Oh shit.
How old am I? That reminds me. We're gonna do a shirt that says "I'm too old for this shirt," and it's gonna have like Indiana Jones on it, old Batman on it. Who else should we put on it? You guys tell us.
Jake Skywalker.
Jake Skywalker, yeah.
Indiana Jones, because he's
I just
also
said that,
way too
yeah.
old.
Well, you've
Yeah.
got to have Danny Glover on it if you're going to do that.
Well, of course, Danny Glover and old Mel Gibson, yeah.
No, but he's black. It doesn't count.
What?
Oh God.
No, it's gonna be a cracker T-shirt.
I'm gonna have Gary.
demonetized.
I'm gonna have Gary do this too. So Geary. So it's gonna look good, guys.
I think you have to put Johnny Legs on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do the cracker T-shirt and then do the black and brown one. So you have Glover, you have legs,
segregated T-shirts.
Fuck yeah, why not?
Oh, my
man,
it's too money streams.
I'll have to see what I can come up with, though. Yeah, well, you guys throw in your 2 cents in the chat. Actually, do it more so in the comments after the show, so I can come back to them and look.
Hey, I'm here so I can say those jokes because
yes, 6 is right. I went rogue here a second ago and just fucking went total meat on her ass, and I apologize. I'm just like Xing out super chats left and right. I'm sorry. We should have them all, but I don't know. But yeah, no, we've seen all this stuff back in the day. What's your first thought? But thank you so much for the $10 Canadian. And you can have your smoke back. John Apocalypse has been here for 9 months at the Midnighter level. Thank you so much. Your Muslim uncle says, praying for your surgery goes well and you recover fast. Me too. Thank you, your Muslim uncle. Hopefully it's not gonna be too bad. It's just toe surgery. Both my big toes, so we'll see how it goes. I'm rhyming. Action Com says, what was that?
Assalamu alaikum.
Quit swearing. Action Com says, Tom, I hope your surgeon is not Snyder. I know, right? He'll be fucking.
Oh,
well, that's a risk one takes, isn't it, Tom?
Well, I get it on 2 fronts. I get the Batman fans and the Snyderverse fans, and I've been getting the Batman fans all sorts of fucking out of sorts this morning on Twitter.
I'm sure they didn't like my opinion, but I haven't checked. Yeah, Twitter's not real life.
Trevor Summer says, despite no race swap for Superman and Lois, I'm waiting on Jimmy Olsen. 3 times I can think of they've committed Ginger side. Will Gunn do it too? Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, that's quite
on
simple.
that note.
Don't use him.
Technically, he did not start off as a redhead.
Really?
Yeah, he became one.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. And
yeah, but Tom, you were going somewhere with this.
We have a new Superman and a new Lois. That's the big story of the day. At least it was yesterday afternoon when James Gunn confirmed that David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan are now the duo that will star as Clark Kent and Lois Lane in Superman Legacy. So yeah, let's get everybody's reaction to this. I'll tell you guys right now, if you haven't clipped it already, I'm sure you will, Andre, but the ladies, this was their picks on Monday night. And so I think that's a good start. I've seen mostly positive responses to this. Some people are being a bit negative and, just can't get over Cavill, but I mean, it is what it is, but I'm curious what you guys think. Culture, go ahead. Sounds like you got something to say.
Yeah, no, and again, I mean, this will be like the 4th time I've talked about this, but my perspective is more positive than you would think. I think that if you're going to go after somebody that looks like Superman and you're thinking in the same appearance, the same, I think Cornsweat's a good choice. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think Rachel Brosnahan is going to nail it as Lois. She has the ability to do all kinds of acting. If you're unfamiliar with her work, she was great in House of Cards. She was incredible in her show, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. She's an incredibly talented actress. She's going to be a great Lois. Hopefully Cornsweat can deliver as Superman. So, yeah, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think
I have a little inside track on this. I did kind of reveal this yesterday, or last night, but after this news was making the rounds, I was told that she was actually the first choice to begin with.
Yeah.
And they were more or less waiting for her to say yes.
Yeah.
They had other options. Oh, so you heard something similar, Paulie?
Yeah, and then also just to add on to that, everyone in the chat is saying, she needs to be hotter. Rachel's a gorgeous lady, and she's a very versatile actress.
Well, from what I've heard about the Marvelous Miss Maisel or whatever, her show.
Yeah. I watched
Script and I are in agreement that we think that's probably what happened was Gunn saw her and was like, that's my Lois Lane, and he wrote this part for
right,
her.
because it's a period piece. It starts in the late 50s.
Yep, that's exactly what he said too.
And she plays a housewife who becomes a stand-up comic. So right then and there, the writing was so amazing. I love that show. I loved her, and even the outfits when they announced, when people were talking about this, It's like, well, she's already got the wardrobe.
Yeah, I mean,
if they go 50s, you know.
Yeah, she's perfect for it, and she's really good at that character. So she's going to be great. I hope they deliver her a good script, and she's not, you know, she's not treated like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. You know,
well,
and
she's already very likable culture.
Oh,
that's
she
a big
is.
difference. There was nothing likable about that Fleabagness.
I agree with you. I mean, you know, to that extent, but look, she's got the chops for it. I everything I've ever seen her in, she's just punched it through the wall. I mean, she's amazing. And, you know, she does have a history with famous people. Her aunt was Kate Spade, the handbag manufacturer. And she's been in this world for a while. So it's not like she doesn't know what she's doing. She's unlikely to say dumb things, which is good. So.
Yeah. But Tom, to get back to your scoop, because I haven't heard it. So what you were saying then was that basically Gunn decided early on, that's my Lois Lane.
I don't know for sure, but we're kind of between what Script and I were saying, and if Paulie was hearing the same things I was hearing, was basically she was their choice. She was the one who had to decide whether or not she wanted the role. They were only testing these other girls in case she said no. And then from there, basically, they were just trying to pick their Superman.
So basically the rest was then chemistry tests between her and the different Superman candidates. And then it was going to be, well, all of these will be fine as Supermans. We're going to go with the ones where the sparks fly between the two of them.
And I was just speculating that knowing James Gunn the way he is, he probably saw that show. He's like, that's my Lois Lane. And when he wrote, he probably wrote with her voice in mind, is what I was assuming. That's just my speculation. But no, the way they made it sound to me was like the role was hers to lose. Basically, she had it. She just had to say no or yes, basically. So,
I mean, when's the last decent Lois Lane we got? Like
Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, I was gonna say Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher.
I'd agree.
I'm in a rare agreement with Tom.
Yeah. I like this choice. I have not seen her in much. That's a good thing. And that's the other thing I've noticed a lot of people giving, you know, this Corn Sweat and Gun shit for hiring him. It's like, no, I'm glad I don't know who he is.
Right.
He will be Superman for me.
For a generation. You're absolutely right. And
is it pronounced Corn Sweat or Corn
Sweat? I don't know. I want to hear him say his name so I know I'm saying it right. Until then, I'm going to say it all sorts of different fucking ways.
Yeah. Well, what I will say though, because here's like the thing that we've only seen like a couple. I've never seen him in action. We've only seen a couple of pictures of him. Like for instance, the one that was in the trades, I think doesn't do him justice. In this picture right here, he does look like Henry Cavill of 5 years ago. Same with this one here. I mean, if I looked at this for a second and I just blinked, I could have told you that I would have thought that this is Henry Cavill. So in this sense, I'm relieved because it's someone that
he definitely has the look,
a bit like Henry Cavill, and what that really means is that he kind of has that Superman look.
Well, he's got the chiseled look. Now, you know, go away for 4 to 6 months, get some high training in, some weightlifting,
eat a bunch of protein bars. Yeah,
he's gonna, you know, he's got to bulk up. Do we know how tall he is?
6'4" is what they're reporting. Yeah.
Oh wow. Just like Christopher Reeves.
I think that was Christopher Reeves. Yeah. Valiant, you've been quiet. What's your if you're there anyway? I know you're dealing with sick kids in the background, but there you are.
No, I'm here. Yeah.
What's your reaction to the casting, man? You're the one hasn't really chimed in yet.
I mean, look, I've never been a huge DC guy. I don't dislike it. It was never my thing. But just visually, I think this works. I think I talked about this last night on Mead, kind of the same extent. The casting to me visually works. I see a Superman actor that could easily be put into training for 3 to 6 months, bulk him up. I think he'll fit very well. I guess it all depends, of course, what kind of script that they hand these folks. As far as the young lady who's playing Lois, I think she's very pretty. I think she works. I don't really know a whole lot about her. I haven't watched Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm familiar with it, but I've just never watched it. But I've only heard good things about it. So yeah, go for it. I mean, they need a good reboot with this to start over for Warner under this new regime. Clear the decks. They still have to get past Aquaman 2, unfortunately.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, and oh yeah, well, Blue Beetle, yeah, Blue Beetle's coming up. When is that? Later this year, right?
Let's just hope it's not the blue bomb.
It is the August 18th.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle.
I have hopes for it, and I mean, it has potential because even if you go through whatever gun speak he was using there with he's the first character, but Superman's the first movie, there's still at least a chance that Sholo's coming back as Blue Beetle in some form.
It's got to be a good film.
Yeah, it has to be good though. But yeah, JB brings up the point, and this is why I said reportedly 6'4", because yeah, if you ask a lot of things, they'll say Tom Cruise is 5'10". That ain't fucking true. Motherfucker's 5'4". Yeah, if that. I've even heard 5'2". But yeah, no, going off of those reports, that's what I had heard, is that she was kind of the choice. And Zaslav had chimed in on both of these choices. And the other things we've been hearing, they haven't been decided, or I'm sure they've been decided. Let me rephrase that. Because here's the other part of this I heard. This casting has to get done before the possible strike, whether there's a strike or not. They want these deals all done before then. So I'm going to tell you right now, they've got all the major casts done. There's 3 people up for Lex Luthor. Now I say 3, and people are like, wait a minute, I thought it was just the Skarsgård brothers. Let's not forget that they initially called Nicholas Hoult for Lex Luthor as well. And just because he put himself up for Superman doesn't mean he's not going to take sloppy seconds. Because this is a big franchise. So don't think he's out of the running yet for Lex Luthor as well. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I want
have
him
a
as
feeling in the next...
Batman.
Well, you may.
Yeah.
But in the next few days, I think we might hear about who's going to be our Lex Luthor too. And our Perry White and Jimmy Olsen. Going back to our original Super Chat, it'll be interesting to see if Perry and Jimmy are black or white, but or Hispanic or what. But yeah, we'll have to see. Paulie, it sounded like you had something to say.
He's sick. What, his height, he's an American actor, which I really love. Sorry, you Brits, let's get an American dude in there. And he's 29. He's gonna be, if it goes well, he's gonna be Superman for at least 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Six wants to hop in and give her 2 cents on the Man of Steel, but I'd love to have a woman's opinion besides the Toxic Femmes on this one if she's not too busy. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, there isn't much to say. I mean, this is just the first of the news. We're going to get rolling on this. It's 2 years out yet, so.
Let me, sure. Because of that statement, let me ask this question, and I think this is a good one. With everything that's been happening with Warner Brothers and with everything that's been happening with a lot of these superhero films, and we're going to see another one completely fail here at the end of the year in November. And I think the only wild card here is Blue Beetle, to be fair, which I want to be good. I really hope it's good. But
Culture, we're actually going to see 2 fail at the end of the year.
Don't forget
the
Aquaturd.
Marvels.
Oh, I forgot about
and Marvels
that.
and Aquaturd, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're going to see, well, specifically for Warner Brothers, do you think we'll get this Superman? This may be a deal moving forward, but will this actually happen?
Guaranteed.
Okay,
that's why they're trying to rush these deals, dude. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, even if there is a strike, then that means they can still keep things moving along.
After the 30th, and it's a good thing that Paulie's here, but after the 30th, they're officially going on strike. The Screen Actors have decided that, if they're going to hold the line on their demands, and if they don't get a deal by 2 days from now, they're done.
Well, and that's what I was saying. It's my understanding, as long as the deals are done, they can still move forward on this production. They don't even start shooting until April.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they can't start doing costumes and everything else.
Their contracts are already done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If they're being announced.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was hearing, though, is that their goal was to make sure all these contracts were in place before the strike. That was what I was mainly hearing.
Effectively, what they can still do is once they have a green light, they have a budget, they have a cast done, all the pre-production work can proceed. Now, they can't put the actors in front of a camera for principal photography if there's a strike, but everything else leading up to that, in theory, sets, designs, blah, blah, blah.
That's what I mean, exactly.
Yeah. And there's the producer.
Yeah. Hello, Six.
Hi. Sorry, I got behind on the stream because I was looking for a video of the actor pronouncing his name. This guy was not my pick for Superman.
Okay.
And I did a very nonchalant glance through the actors that they were looking at for the role, because I didn't want to fall in love with someone as the new Superman and then be disappointed when they didn't pick him. So I didn't really even pay any attention to who they were looking at. But I'm now in love with this man because I don't think he photographs well. But now that I've seen a video of him moving and talking and hearing him speak and seeing him smile, he's Superman. I didn't hear him pronounce his name.
Do you have the video just so we can kind of see?
But it's I can
see if you have the link. I can bring it up here.
Yeah, it's not. He's talking about Star Wars, but I promise you, it's not just because. Tom, I'll send it to you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it on my phone. It's not just because he was talking about Star Wars, but he just when he moves, he's just comes alive for me. So now I'm a big fan.
Well, let's check this out. All right. Let's see here. We got 6 here showing us some video.
Six comes alive.
What?
Oh, Lord.
Here. That's not true. This is American Airlines starting to cool. To you? You guys want to go to the park? Heck yeah. Seems dangerous. Nuts. What is that line?
Oh, yeah. He's got like a very...
It's edited terribly, and I think it's 3 years old.
Yeah, no, but like, I like it. He's got a very...
he does have a camel
gee golly kind of thing about him.
Yeah, down home.
Like, yeah.
The Pennsylvania boy.
That's what Superman needs. Especially
the Force. There were at least 3 or 4 times when I was growing up where I would sit quietly and then just slowly open my eyes and go. And probably one of those times I half convinced myself that like it shook a little bit or something. The other superpower I would have would be to have John Williams music play wherever I went. Definitely.
You might have that, my friend.
Wow.
You might have that, my friend.
Yeah. If they don't put that theme,
like I don't want to tell too much of it, but like, yeah. Thank you for that, 6. That's cool.
Yeah. Hold on.
I kind of like it. I think he's gonna be all right. Oh, she disappears. That's what she does. She's like Batman.
Yeah. Well, I'm extra busy with stuff since you.
I know you are. I'm so sorry.
I take my job very seriously, and I'm very focused.
Yes, she does, and I'm very fucked up. So, so yeah, I think I'm sold on him. And he went to Juilliard. Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to see what he can do. He's got time.
He seems like a good choice all around. I mean, I've only seen picture of him and that clip right there. And honestly, that's all I want to see, because I don't want to see an actor. I want to see Superman. And this one, he has all of the same chops that Henry Cavill has. And that I'm happy with. So exactly as Paulie said, as long as this guy is sent to the gym with the instructions to bulk up and wipe out an entire lineage of chickens and a few cows and stuff like that to get there, then it's all good.
Yeah, he's got a few months.
You know what? I'm curious as far as how they do the contract, because if they go on strike, can he go and work out?
Oh yeah, I think he can do everything but act. I think he can do everything but go in front of the camera. I think that's the only thing he can't do. It's kind of like with James Gunn. He can direct, he just can't change anything that's on the page until the strike is up.
Right.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah,
so it's like Valiant was saying, they'll be able to do all the costume fittings,
Yeah,
all
he
kinds
probably
of
can't
stuff.
go to like, Warner Brothers.
He can't get in front of a camera. He can't get in front
Warner
of
Brothers.
The only other thing
Fitness
I can
Center.
see that they might not be able to do is he might not be able to go in and rehearse. But I don't even know if it covers that.
I think he'll have time for that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think they can stop you from that. I mean, this is just if there's a big if they go on strike. And a lot of the people have been saying with a lot of confidence they think they're going to come to a conclusion that everybody's happy with. But just in the off chance they do strike, because that's the other thing. If the actors strike at the same time as the writers, everything's shutting down in Hollywood. Everything. Because as we were saying, all it takes is one of those other cards to topple. They were lucky they got the directors not to strike. But if the writers do it, it's just as bad or worse because, if the actors do it along with the writers, it's just as bad or worse because, like you're saying, though, they can't really go forward with too much after that point. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I think they won't allow it to happen, though. They can't afford it. But as far as his contract goes, I think a lot of these new contracts for these DC movies are going to be a lot lower level than what we're used to seeing. So I think that's part of what Gunn's goal is going to be, is to make sure these budgets stay lower. And one of the biggest problems we had was, like I said, if you bring Henry Cavill back now for a Superman movie, it's going to cost you 10, 20 million easy, at least, because they got to renegotiate a contract with him, and he ain't going to come back for less than that.
I don't know. I don't think they want him back.
Well, at this point, honestly, look, I get it. People like him, and I hate saying it like this, but I seen one of the memes being passed around was, you have Henry Cavill and it's Fruit Loops, and they got this David Cornsweat and it's the generic brand. I'm like, I wanted to say something, but I knew a bunch of people would gripe, because it isn't anything against Cavill, but I was like, look, you zoom in on that box of Fruit Loops, it's got an expiration date on it, right? Like, that's the problem we have here, is this guy's had 10 years. Granted, he never got a shot at really playing the role, but it's too late now.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, blame the previous regime at Warner Brothers.
Exactly, and Zack Snyder. Yeah,
that's it. They wasted Henry Cavill's best years. That's it. It is not the current regime's fault. It's not Henry Cavill's fault. It is old Warner Brothers' fault, and all those people. That's why Jason Kilar and Walter Hamada and all them have been fired.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing's been nothing but a disaster. So I'm all for a fresh start. And we're learning more and more that's what it's going to be. But anyhow.
And, I go back to Blue Beetle real quick. I think another huge factor is that if it's a decent film, they're going to keep Xolo because he's very young and he's very likable. And they want, it's like, look at everything they're getting rid of, right? The older actors, controversy, whatever, all done. New blood, new everything. If it wasn't going to be new blood, they would have kept with all the other people.
Do you think, Paulie, because this is important to this question, do you think that Blue Beetle is going to suffer because it's in amongst all these other failing films?
No, because it'll suffer if it's a bad film.
Okay.
And this is my opinion, because everyone's talking about superhero fatigue. Blue Beetle is like a month and a half away. That is a lot of time in our movie going sphere to be refreshed. It's like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. Let's check it out. That's just my little theory. And also too, the schedule is really kind for Blue Beetle to be a sleeper hit. You have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the 2nd. You have Gran Turismo on the 10th, and then Blue Beetle on the 18th. So I actually ran into some people yesterday that saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they really liked it, which I was kind of surprised. But I don't think they're going to be vying for the same market, same demo.
Turtles ain't half the franchise it used to be. That's the fucking problem.
That's
know what? Out of those ones you just said, the only one I think that has half a chance of making any money is Blue Beetle.
See, and people,
I honestly don't think there's any buzz for Gran Turismo. I think Turtles it's not gonna do half as good as Spider-Verse.
And all those films, which has the lowest budget VR as far as it costs?
I think it's Blue Beetle, ain't it? Valiant, are you there?
So those three
I don't think he's there, but I think it's Blue Beetle.
That's another reason why they kept it. And they vaulted it up. Remember, it was supposed to be just a streamer, and then they vaulted it up to August 18th. They've never changed that date. With all these changes that they made, you got to remember about last summer, whenever it was, they pushed back all the dates and all the stuff. This one stayed because they saw the pocket.
Well, I remember they added to the budget. It seems to come up to $120 million right now.
I mean, okay, that's. I think the first go around maybe was 90.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was in that Batgirl range. Yeah,
it's still relatively low for a superhero movie,
really
but
cheap.
Yeah, so again, if it is a decent to good film where it gets good word of mouth, I think social media and the people involved, the likability of all the people involved, it's going to vault it up. And I'm not talking about George Lopez because I know you guys don't like George.
Well, I think that is the scene that gets the most reaction in the trailer. That's negative in the theaters I've been in, and I've seen that trailer now 6 times in theaters, and every single time it's an obvious groan from the audience. So that's very strange. But like I said, if it can get past that one-liner, and again, if it's in the context of a greater service of like, you know, superheroes in general, then I think it should be okay. We'll just have to see. I just hope the film is good because I like the kid that's, you know, Blue Beetle. I like Solo. So
it's going to come down to the story, and if it can, you know, be a really fun origin story with the family involved, kind of like a nice different take, it's got a shot there, you know. And so we'll see how it goes moving forward. What the DC world looks like now. You have your Superman. Do you have your Batman? Do you have your Wonder Woman? Do you have your Aquaman? Going forward after December, you know, they're saying we're keeping Solo.
That's the only one I would say that has a chance right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're learning more and more and more as we get closer and closer that, yeah, this is going to be a complete overhaul. So, I mean, there's been some people going back and forth on certain things with like Gal Gadot, but she's done. She's done. Even Sasha Calais, or however you say her name is, she's already even come out and said she's done, obviously. There's no going back to any of this stuff. I guarantee you if Jason Momoa is coming back, he's probably going to be Lobo. That's been like one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood. Ezra Miller's not coming back. There's nothing on Flash on the table. There is nothing Aquaman on the table. The only thing Wonder Woman on the table is that Themyscira prequel. So then that means you can just set up a new Wonder Woman down the road. We know he's going to recast Batman. I know some people were convinced that George Clooney is going to play Batman, but I don't know what to tell you guys. There ain't no fucking way they're going to have a 60-plus-year-old Batman and an 18-year-old son. It's just not the way it's going to work.
Two more things about the Blue Beetle. There is I don't know if you got a chance to see the latest promo. It's a quick promo where Becky G announces that she's the voice of Kajida. And there's more footage in that quick promo. That was pretty cool. But Blue Beetle, we haven't seen another trailer. I thought we were going to get one with the Flash, so I was concerned about that. Blue Beetle director thinks he's getting a trilogy. Well, they're thinking big. You know, they're excited. They're promoting it. They, you know, regardless of how I feel about this gentleman's political views and all that, I like the excitement. You got to understand, this team has been together for a couple of years. Gareth Alcocer, the gentleman that wrote Blue Beetle, he wrote Miss Bala, great drug cartel film. You know, from what I heard, they wrote a tight script for Blue Beetle. That's what makes something unique, is that creative team, and then you got this great cast. And it's not just Solo. You got Raul Trujillo, who's going to play one of the you know, villains under Susan Sarandon. He was the lead bad guy in Apocalypto. He was he's menacing looking, and you need that against, you know, sweet looking Solo. It's got all the elements. Yeah. It just needs to be good.
Well, I will say this much: I can't find a budget for I almost called it Spider-Verse. TMNT Into the Spider-Verse, might as well call it that. But I'll tell you right now, just by this cast alone, the cast alone is 60, 70, 80, if not $100 million. I mean, you got Jackie Chan, John Cena, Seth Rogen's in it himself already, Paul Rudd's in it. I mean, some of these might have been doing it for a little cheaper, but still 50, 60 easy on the cast. So the movie itself, I bet you it's got at least 100 plus budget. It's an animated film on top of it all, so it's got to be, can't be cheap.
In the times that I've seen the trailer in the theaters, it's got real tepid response.
Yeah, it's gotten. Yeah.
And this is coming from crowds who are just into the movies that we were seeing. Family, kids, young people, loud.
I mean, 12-year-olds might like this movie, but I doubt it. I wouldn't have liked this movie when I was 12. I would have been pissed if they made this movie when I was 12.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, why are you taking this backwards after we had 1990s movie? You know?
We couldn't find I'm curious about that budget too, man.
I am too. I couldn't find one. I looked. But if Valiant or somebody else can come up with one for Mutant Mayhem or somebody in the chat, I'm curious. But let's get back to these super chats, because we're way behind, and Mikey's even pointing it out in the chat. And sure, Six is going insane back there trying to keep up with us as it is. So Let's get rolling here. We got Double back again, who says, for Andre's recovery from Indy 5 cringe.
Oh, well, thank you. That's much appreciated. Yeah, that second half of the movie was pretty cringy.
Mihan is here, and he's been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much. And speaking of, sends in a 20. I think that's Swedish krona, right? Or is it
That is Swedish krona indeed.
Swedish krona. Okay, saw Diapers of Depravity, and yeah, I don't know what the fuck. So you saw it early too. So there you go. Well, not early for you because you're over that direction.
Yeah, it
too.
opens here today.
Yeah. So I saw some people were giving you shit. We brought this up before you got here, Andre. People were giving you shit on Twitter about it being, it's like the first showing at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like, no. It's prime time over there.
I'll do respect. What Andre was saying, as far as the pros, Mikkelsen, Harrison, he had some good moments. The music, the cinematography.
But you could put Mad Mikkelsen in front of basically nothing background and just have him read the fucking phone book, and he'd probably be interesting. So,
but it's a cool case. He's a great character.
He is. He's amazing
because he wants to right the wrongs of Hitler. It was like, damn.
He's the kind of guy who can play just about any kind of villain, right? So like.
That was a great villain, and also, and that's kind of like, what I was thinking as that happened.
Anything's better after Kate Blanchett as well, by the way. But anyway,
yeah. But you know what I was thinking? I was thinking whoa, actually, that could have been an amazing Indiana Jones series for Disney Plus. Mads Mikkelsen's character actually succeeding, because spoiler, what he wanted to do was to go back to 1939 on a day when he knew exactly where the footage was going to be, because he was reporting development on the V1 rocket. Interesting historical note. The real Werner von Braun made the V2 rockets. So, another thing right there. And what he wanted to do was assassinate the Führer and take his place, because he knew every single mistake that the Führer had made.
Yep.
And he would basically take over his role and correct every single one of those mistakes and win. In the potential right there, that was a Thanos level villain.
And even the little moments that he had were fantastic too, like with that with the waiter that came in with the room service, the black character. Remember that, Andre?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, also amazing. That's what I mean. If they had done a Disney Plus series like that, where Mads Mikkelsen's character won, he could have been a Thanos level villain.
Yeah, because he basically told this the African American bellboy who went to World War II. He's like, you guys didn't win. I was like, damn, boy, still fighting World War II.
Wow. Well, we got
Mikey. Wrong.
We got Mikey here in the chat who says to Valiant, the Valient Renegade merch store soon offering VR plushies, VR cuddle pillows, and autographed signed photos of VR in wooden frame, choice of mahogany and chestnut and walnut and cherry. You can probably watch them being made on Valiant Renegade Outdoors. Speaking of Valiant Renegade, you have to leave us, so I don't know if you have any more super chats here. I know Six is already scrambling in the back here, so I'll try and look. But is there anything you want to plug on your way out the door? You got a Fox News update or anything coming up?
Not to my knowledge. No, I had a video this morning, not long before the show started, here on the weekend box office projections opening for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Obviously, it's bad. So y'all can go check out that video. My predictions for what the box office for this, I mean, at the very extreme top end, could probably look like. I doubt it will get there. I think it's going to look more like The Flash, just based on what we're seeing in response to this thing. But yeah, good luck, Disney. Have fun.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here on a cursory glance. But yeah, I want to thank you, Valiant, for hopping in here today. I know you're such a busy man now that you're a celebrity, so it's nice to get a few minutes out of your schedule and not to forget us little people on your way to the top.
Har. No, I'm glad I was well.
No, we're happy for you, brother. No, in all actuality, we're very, very happy for you.
You notice how he's not showing his face anymore? He's like already elevated.
Yeah, we got to pay for that now.
Yeah.
Dash Attack says Final Fantasy 16 sold 3 million in its first 6 days. Game journalist most mad. Valiant, I hope you cover it. Its success can help de-woke game big time. Me and Steven love it.
Yeah, I that seems incredibly low. I mean, that might be a small section of the sales. That seems like it should be quite a bit more than 3 million.
Maybe
I'll have to look it up.
is that maybe physical sales and not the video?
Maybe because most people are
Digital
doing
sales or whatever?
digital. I mean, I bought it the day it came out.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
so-
like so it's like low because of that. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think the tracking on sales is really difficult. VR. I think you would probably know that there's a difference between digital and physical sales, and I think we have a lag time on one rather than the other.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
Physical sales for games now are such a paltry amount of total sales. And I mean, look, that's why.
Dash, is this physical or digital? You don't have to send a super chat. Just say it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm sure that's got to be that's just got to be physical, and that might be physical only in one locale. I don't know, but I'm expecting to see.
Yeah, because I think they run physical media sales the same way you used to do CDs, which is
okay. I see something here.
3
from
million
IGN.
on one platform is what Malice is saying. So
okay. I have an article here from IGN from 3 hours ago. Final Fantasy 16 sold 3 million copies during launch week. So that's a big difference than $3 million. Yeah. So that's
3 million copies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so that's more like it's $60 a pop or $50 a pop. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, they're saying
there is no physical at all. Okay, there's a case with a code. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean,
they still track those sales in physical. What I'm saying is because like back in the day, that was the whole thing. Is they started tracking these sales through the UPCs, so they could just pull that up and shit. Like anyway, but you were saying.
No, I mean, look, I hope the game does well. I've been playing this series since it first launched in 1987. I've got every one of them down here, all the original copies and boxes and everything. I mean, it's been my favorite game franchise of all time. So I haven't gotten to, have enough time to get into it that much yet, but I need to try to do that. Like I said, I'm stuck home today. Glad I could hop in. I got 2 kids sick. So just one of those days. I might try to play a little bit later this afternoon after I get some other work done.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us. Much appreciated. And we're so happy for your success. Well earned. Well earned.
Thank you. Everybody on this panel has been big supporters since the early days, and I thank you all. And I mean, we'll keep. Yeah, I see it.
Gotta give you a little shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Love you, bro. Love you.
And for the record, I was on camera when we started the show. I've just been back and forth.
No, man. No, seriously, with all joking aside, dude.
No, it's
that's
really
one thing
cool.
We do love to see is others, even if it's, people like you. No, I'm just kidding.
Even if it's people like you. I think it's.
I'll take it.
I think it's
we
a
love
huge.
You, Valient.
I think it's a huge step, like what they were saying earlier. We're the media, the new media you guys have created.
We're breaking
through each other up,
yeah.
Bounding, Midnight's Edge, VR.
Yep.
That's the new media. You guys are bringing in big numbers. Yep. WD, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Doomcock. I mean, come on, that's where everyone's going first, not to these other clowns.
Nope. And they know that, and they're scared. And look, I mean, VR's got them running scared. VR is funnier than the mainstream media. We saw that in real time last night. And second, he's being quoted everywhere for a reason. He does his research. He has facts. He gives proper information. We don't get that in normal news. That's why you're such a breakthrough, dude. That's why we are appreciating everything that you've done, and we revel in your success, my friend.
Well, I appreciate
we do. That's genuine. Like, I genuinely revel in that success because I'm happy whenever someone in our sphere succeeds, because you know what that means? It means that we collectively, all of us, are having an impact. Because none of us here succeed in isolation. It's all part of the larger community. Like, for instance, all the success you have right now, well, that's because Bounding into Comics first did an incredible write-up.
Yeah.
And they have done amazing, but they are very much someone that covers people in our sphere of influence here. So it's just the expansion of this sphere of the influence. So our little bubble right here, and this is something I know for a fact, we are having a very real impact in Hollywood and in the world at large.
Well, I hope it continues. Hopefully, it will bring about some positive change in the future. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But thanks for having me on. I'm glad I could hop in today. It's rare these days. Just been so busy. But like I said, stuck home today, so figured I'd come by. And but thank you all for having me on, and have a great rest of the show.
Take care, Valiant.
You too, brother.
Name drop me next time you're on Fox.
Oh wow!
Oh, whoa! See,
he cut out right before. Yeah.
You see what happens when you give someone too much praise? Ah, fuck you guys. I'm out. Hey, make sure you drop me. Make sure. Did he get that? Did
you get that? Damn it! You got any parts for me in your script?
I gotta go out.
ActionCom says, I heard the Wilhelm scream tape has been found. The original? Ooh, that's interesting.
Was it lost?
They may not. Andre, honestly, I'd be surprised if the original even existed way past the whatever it was 60s when it was created. It was probably thrown on a couple compilations and never seen again.
Yeah,
back then they didn't save shit.
But moving on, we have plenty of super chats to go through.
McGarnagle says, I think they nailed it. The only thing they could sour it is if Corn Sweat spews divisive rhetoric while hiding behind the character like Chris Evans. Cavill was smart enough not to do it. Probably why the studio hated him. Yeah, that, and he also cared about the character. That was another problem. But I think in this situation, Gunn's going to make sure that everything's fine. But it's all on his shoulders at this point. But I don't know anything about this kid, and I don't want to know anything. Like Andre said, I don't want to see anymore till I see Superman. Till I see that trailer, I don't want to see anymore. Or his first picture in the suit. Then whatever. Yeah. Cal Miles says, you missed my $10 shat. I don't know why you shat $10, but I wish I had that problem. No, you said something about a super chat. We looked, buddy. We didn't see any $10 super chat. Did you find anyone, Andre? We had the 2 5s from you from before, but I didn't see a $10 one.
You know what? He's in Australia, so when he said $10, it might be $5 American. And I
don't know. We've read
supers from him.
Yeah.
And both of them were read. So at me in the chat, Callum, if you think that we still missed one.
And then we have this one here right afterwards, which is another 5 that says, but you won't watch Hell of a Boss because you'll forget it in 2 seconds. I might. But I've heard about it now a few times, so I'm sure I'll remember it eventually. But we'll keep looking, Cal Mile, but I'm not sure on that unless you think we missed it, because tell us what it was about, because we did get 3 earlier, I think it was. Tweaky Kid says, Tom, since you saw the Sheik documentary, I must ask, are you the if you are the real Bubba? No, I'm a jabroni. Sailor Mercury says, anyone seen No Hard Feelings yet? I kind of liked it. Andre, did you see it yet? I think you saw it in Culture Did,
I
right?
saw it and I loved it. It's the second.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you
I've seen
did.
in theater so far this year.
And what's really strange is I mentioned this in an interview I did earlier today. I actually have
Fox News.
No, it wasn't on Fox. I'm sorry.
What was it on?
We'll get there later. But
no, I want to know right now.
Okay, I was on Pops. I was on with Pops. Yeah, he interviewed
That's
me.
not like Fox News, dude. That's Pops News.
Well, Pops is great.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Anyway, back to it. And No Hard Feelings actually improved in my ratings. The farther I'm separated from the film, I'm going to move it from a 5 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10, because really, I mean, my problems with it are more script based and story based. It still is 2/3 a good movie, 1/3 a bad movie. But it does do a lot of things that we ask movies to do, and you know what? It should be rewarded for that.
I don't know what Culture's talking about. This is a hit. I loved it, Andre.
Oh my gosh.
Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Lawrence. I gave her mad props to do a role like that and to do the things she's just doing in the film. Film's got a message. Film got laughs. Got heart. Culture. You need to maybe loosen up that hair a little bit when you go, and enjoy yourself, man.
Going into the film, it's completely
a fun time.
Look, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, and yes,
it's not just me; it's Andre too. So it's 2 and you're 1.
Fine, but J-Law's keeping it together, and I think that's what skewed your opinion a little bit. But no, I actually have to say that she does land and does seem to deliver as the first female action star of all times. That beach scene is still killer to me. In fact, that's what's actually improved my opinion of the film, because it's amazing. I still can't. I still,
Well,
first of all,
you know what's funny about that beach scene is when she gets out of the water and she's pissed.
Oh, she's mad.
I was like, whoa, because
she brought it.
She was coming out there with her with all her glory, and she was ready to throw down like a chola at midnight. You know what I'm saying?
She did, and I look, and look, the nudity is in that scene, right? And it's done in the best possible way. It's not scandalous. It's not done for anything other than the effect of the scene, and I appreciate that. I think we may return to a non-puritanical Hollywood with stuff like that, which I actually said in the chat. But dude, the suplex maneuver, man, was ridiculous. I'm like, that is a real throw that she did on that dude. I was still like, oh my gosh, what a great scene. What a great scene. Still.
And you bought it too. You bought it too.
Yeah, dude, it's not like what you're describing with Phoebe, Wall, or Bridge. It's you can believe she did it because she did it right there on the screen. She literally throws this dude like a rag doll. I'm like, that is not a wonderful.
You see the video I did?
Living in a movie?
Dude, I
did a video just on Phoebe Waller throwing an elbow. Like,
was she Daddy's little cutie?
Right? She literally, a man's holding her, like a big burly mean dude.
Yeah.
She like turns and she goes, aha. He falls.
So an incredibly nice stuntman took a pratfall, whereas J-Law's out there actually literally throwing dudes around, which is amazing.
Well, I got to take a break for a moment, so we're gonna.
Okay. You want me to read?
Go to our sponsor.
Oh,
Flip City.
This magazine is what? Take 6. This magazine is awesome. It's funnier than the last It's funnier than the last editorial I read from Scott Mendelson, says Tom Connors. Sign up today for Flip City Magazine. It's hilarious, humorous, and all kinds of other synonyms I can't think of at this moment in time. Flip City Magazine. Use our special code MIDNIGHT to get 10% off. Get it digitally or in paper form. That's right, we killed a tree just for you. Check out Flip City today.
Thank you to Flip City for being our sponsor here at Midnight Edge in the Morning. And back to the Super Chats. We got SGR Red Wolf who says, musician Kesha voiced Queen Bee and wrote a new song in season 1 of Hell of a Boss. The animator behind the series got known for a music video against Kesha's Die Young. Oh, I never really liked her, but I'll still check it out. Then SGR Red Wolf says, this season ender was delayed due to Kesha's contract lawsuit and was just settled out. Master of Trek says Christmas future with Trek to be decided over the weekend. SNW fails to reach internal metric threshold imposed, likely to be cut next quarter. Well, I haven't heard anything like that. In fact, I heard Strange New Worlds is getting more episodes. In fact, like a 50 episode order. I don't know if that's 50 episodes altogether or 50 more episodes, but yeah, I know we're working on something in that.
Find out soon enough.
Yeah, we're going to be doing something on that sooner than later. And then Marks for 11-7 Beast says Hell of a Boss is a spinoff of Has Been Hotel. I'm not familiar with that one either. A YouTube pilot picked up by A24 Studios. Main voice actor is YouTube comedian Brandon Rogers. That guy I know. Great show. Okay, so I know who that guy is. So there's a little bit of connection there. Waltman says, again, shout out to Blumhouse for getting some of the Friday Night at Freddy's YouTubers involved in the Five Night at Freddy's movie employee photo and taxi driver. Yeah, I heard about that. Kind of cool. Not a big fan of that kind of stuff, but hey, for those who are, that's a neat thing. Dash Taxes refuses to review or see Indy 5, even for views. It should never have been made. I don't blame you.
This is true.
Totally. That is very true.
There are 3 Indiana Jones movies and some bonus content.
And on
you
that
know what
note,
I did? Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I had to wash the taste out of my mouth. I saw Raiders like the very next day. It's just amazing. Anyways, that's
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is I'm actually trying to put together a really cool review of Indiana Jones. We're shooting for next Tuesday, hopefully. Where we're going to have some special guests on here. I'm not going to say who yet until they are able to confirm. But yeah, that'll be hopefully the last we discuss of this movie because it's probably not going to be around for very long. And on that note, Dash Tech says, Indy will not divide us, but seriously, F them for ruining Skull's happy ending. Forget the aliens, Ant's fridge. You got that right. Yep. Indeed. And then we got Waddle D's Nuts, who says, happy hump day, gents. By the way, anyone here see Asteroid City? Andre did. Personally, I thought it was pretty good. I don't know if Paulie has or not, but yeah.
That's
Andre enjoyed it.
I haven't seen it yet, and I'm well, I'll see. I've seen all his films like when they're in the theater.
I think I haven't seen his last one or two. The last one I saw was the Fox one.
I still think that his best was The Life Aquatic, but that's just me.
No,
I'm with you on that one, Culture. That is definitely his funniest movie ever.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've barely seen any of his movies, but
that's his most successful.
But my thoughts on Asteroid City are actually in a clip over at Midnight's Edge Live Archives. If you head on over to the reviews playlist, there's my thoughts. But in short, of all movies I have seen in theaters this year, which were also made this year, it's my personal favorite one. I think this is the best movie of 2003 so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'd say Life Aquatic started the demise of his substance over his style. Darjeeling Limited, Rushmore, Bottle Rocket. Give me those any day.
I think you mean style over substance, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Sorry, did I?
Yeah, you just pulled what I would say we're going to call it a Margot Robbie, because I still swear she meant, because she says you can sexualize Barbie, you just don't make her sexy. I think you mean you can make Barbie sexy, you just don't sexualize her. Margot Robbie did.
Sorry, chat. I pulled a Robbie.
Yeah, and the controversy with that is just going crazy right now. That Barbie movie looks like it could be in for a lot of problems.
And unless where is she from? She's from Australia, isn't she? Unless their definitions are crisscrossed down there, they are from the land down under. So
yeah, she wears she does wear her pants the right way around though. She is definitely not crisscross.
Living in a land down under. That was bad. Yeah. Tennille is in the house. He says the highlights of the movie was a featurette to a different movie. Andre, now that's what I call a pool quote. Yeah, that or the first half ain't that bad. That's what I put on a poster.
Watch it for the first 30 minutes, then leave. It'll be the greatest indie.
And
it'll be an okay indie.
Right.
Indiana Fleabag series.
Yeah. I mean, that first 30 minutes, there's no Fleabag. He's young. We didn't say also, I don't know if you mentioned this, the deep fake was pretty decent for being a deep.
I mentioned it. It was pretty decent apart from the scenes where it wasn't.
Yeah, there was a couple of ones that were kind of kooky.
Because it wasn't deep fake. If it had been, it would have been fine. Instead, they used their own shit de-aging and proprietary technology, and it's no good. If they had just used deep fake, we would be in a much better position.
But it's my real face.
But moving on.
That's what he said anyway.
Hi-yo.
Where are we at here?
Midnight's Edge.
I know, but I'm trying to find where I was in the super chats. Ministry of Iran. Actually, before I get into this one, we did finally find Callum's. I don't know. Did you send this like way before the show or what? But it's not showing up in our repertoire thingy. That's weird because we do not have it, and I can't find it anywhere. Not in anything. I looked and I looked and I looked, and so did Six. Yeah. If the Marvel's end credit leak is true, I'd rather watch a stupid but fun movie like Transformers. The MCU is going to be a validation, and food women aren't meant for comics. I didn't hear about the leaked ending, but I can only imagine.
I think it's like sets up like I don't recall in detail, but I think that the leaked ending sets up like Young Avengers or something like that along the line down the line. that no one is going to care about, because just like they've been like now burdened with this whole Skrull secret invasion storyline that obviously no one cares about, judging from the Disney Plus numbers, and here they're setting up the next thing that no one is going to care about. But the beauty is that very few people are going to see the Marvels in the first place, so they don't have to actually make that follow-up. So that is the hope.
There you go. And Callum also sent in another $2. And I'm sorry, brother. Six and I looked and looked. I don't know. Andre finally found it for us. We don't know when.
Yeah, I found it behind the scenes here. So there it was.
Yeah.
When I knew what to look for, I found it easily.
It was weird, unless they pulled it down somehow on us. And that was the weirdest thing, because it's not in our thing. So Ministry of Wrong Thing sent in $9.99, says, can about how the now I'm not
Can
sure
about how
probably can you
famous.
talk how the now infamous ending scene is literally a loosely veiled message to the fans. You want to live in the past. # girl boss will beat, drag you into the future, whether you like it or not.
Interesting point of view.
Here's the thing, though. She's not being dragged into the future. He's being dragged back into the miserable existence from whence he came. I honestly think that's reading a little bit too much into it.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually don't, because in reading the Vanity Fair interview, all of that's coming out. That's like,
Interesting.
Yeah. It just came out yesterday. It's front cover Vanity Fair, Fleabag, and it's
she's brutal in that, isn't she, Paulie?
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And like I said, the one part that I pointed out was the fight choreography. They're like, oh yeah, don't show, just show up. You don't have to fight train.
She's Pete, man. Wow.
I hate to say it. I just really want this thing to bomb. Send a message, guys.
It's going to lose between $200 and $300 million, Paulie. It's not going to do well.
And then we've got John Apocalypse here, who sends in £2 and says, which will make more money on that note, in Uncharted or Indy 5? Even though Uncharted, I think, was technically a bomb, I think it might end up making more money at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, consider this. We're at the point right now where, as of this moment, the last reported pre-sale number for this film domestically was $6 million.
Yeah. And even the worst bomb this year is not going to lose as much money as Indy will. That's the thing you got to keep in mind. This movie
is so expensive.
Costs so much money.
What's the going budget?
Well, we know it's $300 million that's reported because of the Lucasfilm exposure that it has, but it's way over that at this point. And not, I mean, we're not even talking about the
and that was £3 million. So if you convert that to US, it's a bit different. But
300 million pounds.
But, either way, it's like that they're getting a tax credit on top of that. So we'll just say even 300 million, basically.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Uncharted, 120 million to make.
Yep.
Box office worldwide over 400 million.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't see Indy breaking that much. If it only opens at 60 million,
it
has to make $1 billion. That's the problem. At least, actually, more than $1 billion.
900. It's like 918 billion for break even or something. Last time I'd
say it's more than that at this point. I know. Look, let's say 3 million, 3 times the budget plus 100 million in P&A. Right there's your $1 billion. So you've got to break $1 billion at this. That's what the thing is with these movies, and that's what I've heard with some of my people I've talked to in the industry too. Is they keep saying this shit. Is these movies got to go away because this $200 million budget, $250, $300 million budgets, that means they have to make $1 billion. There's no if and buts about it.
Yeah,
and that's what I keep saying is the $1 billion is the new 100 million.
So again, I go back to it's like these variables, right? To get this young market. There's nothing in this movie that's going to get the young market. There's not a good-looking young new Indy for this generation. You could say that with Transformers. You got the Transformers. You got the brand. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just
no. You're fine. It's
just put it. Let it die. Let it die.
Yeah, this is going to die. Midnight Sun says, what would the state of the DCEU look like today if Warner Brothers never messed up Snyder's vision? I'm going to say this, and I know it's going to piss some people off.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
I'm going
But
off camera.
Snyder is one of the main problems. His vision wouldn't have fixed jack shit. His vision is what got us here today. Okay, that's the bottom line. No matter how much tinkering is involved with Warner Brothers, at the end of the day, he was given all the tools in the world to make a $1 billion movie with Batman v Superman, and he still couldn't get that right. And that movie turned audiences off of Justice League, regardless of who directed it, because they aren't paying attention to who's directing shit. They aren't paying attention to what's going on behind the scenes. All they know is they didn't want to see that based on the last thing they saw. And Aquaman and Wonder Woman were anomalies, and that was it. Because if you look at the rest of the box offices, all it does is show that nobody was interested in these characters and these stories. And Flash is just kind of another, like, the dead end wall of this whole thing. Aquaman might make a little bit more money just because of Jason Momoa, but let's be real. That's the only reason Aquaman and Wonder Woman made any money is because of Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot.
I
At
mean,
the end of the day,
you could give Snyder credit for casting.
at
right?
that point, yes, but
yeah, but
the way
vision,
things had went,
film?
yes, yeah.
That's just me. Sorry, Tom.
No. And then the tinkering happened, but at the end of the day, it was already dead by Justice League, is what I'm trying to say. And at that point, everything was already out the window. So
yeah,
it's done. And the Snyder cut didn't muster up the energy that was needed to convince Warner Brothers that was the way to go back to.
Well,
or they
it
would
did.
have.
They should have, because it was pretty historic what happened. That the Snyder cut did happen, was released on HBO Max. You know, but they were like, no, one and done. Bye. I actually think creatively,
the problem though, Paulie, is if it was popular, if it was successful, the argument would be that they would have just went with that then.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying, is that I think that they should have. No, they laughed at that success, and they should have given Cavill, then by that success, they would have given Cavill another Superman movie. That's what should have happened.
Well, and that was on the pages for the last 10 years.
Yeah. All right. We've said enough.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Got your Snyder's verse, Phil?
Yeah, I'm done. Cosmic Vader says, before the member chats expires, happy Woodens Day. Andre, what's best in life?
I believe I answered this already, but it should still be to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Is
and
it
then
Woden's Day?
Action had one for me as well, and he said, Andre, would a grown-up, educated short round have been a better character than Shaw? Yes, hell yes. Rescuing Indy's twilight years, a Back to the Future ending. There's no Back to the Future ending here. This is fake news. There is no Back to the Future ending. It just carries on from where it left off. His wife comes back to him after their divorce, but their son remains dead and buried. Short round would have been a whole hell of a lot better.
Yeah, and they're and to add insult to injury, the way they've propped up Key in their promotions, like, oh, we're so proud of our guy. It's like, give him a role. Why wasn't he in the film? Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that, I unfortunately have to drop out here myself. But everyone, stay tuned, because there's still plenty more super chats to go through. That the rest of the team will.
You're gonna leave my high ass to run this shit? Oh boy. Stian Mons.
Alone.
I guess not.
Right,
Stian Monstad sends us in. I'm sure it's a popcorn bucket. I know Six put it in the background here. Yep. Thank you so much, Stian, and we appreciate that. Let's see here. We got, where did I get lost here? We got Darius Munchausen, who probably sends us a popcorn bucket or a thumbs up as well. Let's see here. Where's it at? It is popcorn. Thank you so much. And then we've got Carrie's, who's been a new member now, or become a new member now. Thank you so much. Call sign Alucard says, I would be in an alcohol coma if I took a shot every time you mentioned Big Ask. Well, that was actually for Andre, but yeah. Pilgrim.
Really quick on that note, when we went, right, with Gore, they had 3 open bars and 1 food line,
nice.
Catering, 3 to 1. They were liquoring every YouTuber, influencer, I don't know what, all the this was before the screening, guys, not after, right? Of Indy a couple weeks ago, and Gore says he's never seen anything like this.
And you know what? This happens a lot when they desperately need things, and that's why I think the title was perfect when I came in the entry card about the Dial of Desperation. They're literally desperate for positive affirmation for this film because they know that word of mouth is going to destroy it, as it already has. I mean, you got unfettered, uninfluenced people at Cannes giving you unvarnished versions of what this film is and their reactions to it. And the tepid response there, was only measured as such because there was people to clap for associated with the film. They weren't clapping for the film.
They got the clap from the film.
Oh, wow. Hey, now. Well, I mean,
Hey,
Phoebe
now.
Waller-Bridge is in it.
That bitch is so ugly. I know I'm not such a looker, but
Wow, that wasn't nice. I mean, come on, Tom.
Oh, that's another thing we didn't bring up.
I'm high.
Do better,
bro. She's like a bit of a she gets around with the fellas.
round, get around. She gets around. Yeah,
she gets around with the fellas.
Like, here's the thing. She is always this morally compromised character in every one that she plays. Everyone, Fleabag is the beginning of that. It's like, hey, look at how many morals I can compromise all in once in just one season. Oh wait, I get a second season of compromising some more morals and destroying more ideals. Yeah,
so she's a frumpy hoe bag like Jared.
It's
and then she's like helping raise Teddy. I'm like, what's going on here? Oh, what a horrible character,
and what a terrible role model. My goodness.
Pilgrim Media says Blue Beetle will bomb. Is Batman a fascist? You know what, Pilgrim? I hope that line is just a toss away line, or like it could be going with like a bigger joke. Like it could be funny, and I can't believe I'm saying this about George Lopez, but it could be funny if like he's like very much against superheroes. So like through the whole movie, he's like, Superman's a terrorist, Batman's a fascist, Wonder Woman is whatever, just keep saying that about the whole Justice League. Like he's just got this anti-superhero thing, and then he's got to come to terms with his nephew being a superhero. You know what I mean? Like that could be funny.
Yeah.
So if they're just showing us one joke out of context, I'll accept it.
Yeah, I mean, if that's it, I mean, again, context is always king. It's the thing that is really important when you're doing a story or covering any of this stuff. And that's why when Tom says that, he's seriously being serious about it, because wow, that's interesting. He's being very serious about it because if that's done in the right way, it's going to be funny. If it's done as it is in the trailer without a whole lot around it other than what you've seen in the trailer, then it lands wrong. And again, as I said to Paulie, it made the people in the films that I was in at that trailer groan audibly at that point, which is bad for a film.
I mean, they could be making him an Archie Bunker character, which will work if that's the case. But if not, then yeah, it's just a badly placed line, and I hope it gets cut from the final cut. But I doubt it since it's in every trailer. But it does go along with that line that Batman said in The Flash, where he's like, "Where if I really want to fight crime, I need to fight poverty."
If the character is like this Chicano power, screw the man, crazy uncle,
yeah,
it's gonna be funny,
right?
It just wasn't funny in the trailer.
No,
yeah, it was badly placed. Yeah,
and and if everyone in this fellowship collective, whatever you want to call it, says it's going to bomb, you're still in a bubble. It's going to be up to the general audience, and we'll see. But will it bomb because of that line? No, I
don't think so.
I mean, come on, guys. Mexican Iron Man doesn't like Lopez. Everyone's got their opinions, but he's going to see the film. He's going to give it a shot. I think you guys should give it a shot.
Oh, I will. I'll go see it.
But
that's mainly because you and I willed into existence Sholo being casted. But yeah,
we are Sholo simps. Are we simps for Sholo?
I guess you could call it that.
Pit a little bit.
Sure. CO92 says, so there's something on Twitter posted that there's always something stupid on Twitter.
No.
Someone on Twitter. That's what they should call it. Twitter posted that men shouldn't be carrying a water bottle around because it makes them less masculine and it's a feminine trait. Wow. Considering the world we live in, I'm surprised anybody had the balls to say such a thing. And then on top of it, such a stupid thing. Now, if you're talking about like man buns, then I can understand.
Let me introduce an idea here. We just lost Julian Sands to a hiking accident.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that when you carry around a water bottle, perhaps you're just making sure you're hydrated. That's ridiculous.
Go ahead.
Go
When when you guys were talking about it last week or something like that, as far as like the remains, I said that exact canyon,
it's dangerous.
People get lost all the time or rescued. A friend of ours who is an athlete, avid biker, hiker, younger, like 20 years younger than I am, he had to be rescued out of that same canyon.
Wow. Maybe they should do something about that.
Well, that's how humans are. We love doing all kinds of crazy shit like
Stupid
that.
shit, yeah.
Stupid shit. Like, let's go,
No,
you guys
rock climbing. Yeah.
You guys go back to base camp. I'll do this climb alone.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's exactly what happened to my friend. Sorry.
Oh wow. So KK's idealized self-insert Mary Sue's
Whoa. Supermensch.
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 Ensures that the film is unsalvageable. Imagine my shock. Imagine it because there is none. Exactly. Yeah. Charlie says, Tom, make sure you're to video your toe surgery for your channel. Why? I'll be under. I won't know anything. Those videos get huge views and it would be a whole new direction. Oh yeah, it would totally be a new direction for Midnight.
Thank you for the super chat.
There's no way that I'm gonna be able to do that, but I thank you for the idea. GEC812 says panel opinions on Kraven the Hunter trailer out. I didn't hate it, but
it's out?
Yeah, it's been out for like a week. It looks
seen it.
Much in like a Venom verse kind of thing. I mean,
who's in it?
Oh, it's Aaron Taylor Johnson. But we'll see. It's kind of
okay.
In some
good
aspects, but some of it looks all right. Was it you, Culture, who said you gave it like the silent trailer test? Is that what you were talking about? Yeah, okay. I buy that because when I watched it like with no real volume on, I mean it was like low volume the first time.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a leak of it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll check
don't
it
look
out
too
afterwards.
bad. But then I watched it proper, and you're right. Like when you watch it with the audio.
Yeah, that's something I've been doing now for a short while, just the last few months. I watch a trailer the first time without any audio, completely muted. And then I mean, I'm taking in the visual effects and all of the tricks that are used, obviously, in trailers and in films proper. And then I listen to it with the audio. And your perspective will shift. You won't even believe how quickly, because what you're seeing on the screen isn't lining up oftentimes with, what you should be hearing.
Well, you're not hearing the slowed down classic rock song culture.
Right. And so you're going to be like, wow, this is going to be dog S or whatever. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I would encourage everybody to start doing that, because I think it's going to very much shape how you can perceive things going into one of these spectacles.
Honestly, and I'll give this one credit. I don't think it had a slowed down rock song. Blech.
Look how far down we've gotten. It's like, it didn't have a rock song. Oh, I actually like the trailer.
Yeah. I know, right? Check it out, Paulie, and see what you think.
Yeah, it's the dumbing down. Again, that's all part of different varying levels of dumbing down across everything, right? And it doesn't work because you still have a highly educated group of cinephiles out there that are, going to evaluate these things. I mean, it is what it is.
Then we got AF Watcher 88 who says Fleabag Raider status after this. Also, speculation on Superman Legacy can be successful along with DCU in general post DCU EU. Fleabag Raider status after this. As far as Superman Legacy, it's look, I don't want to jump too far ahead because we got 2 years till this movie comes out. I want to see a trailer first. Even though I'm all for a reboot, it's going to take a little bit to convince me that what's going to be coming is good, though, right? We've had so many years of crap out of DC. And it's not just the DC EU. We've had years before that where nothing but crap.
Right. The anomalies are the two successes. I mean, I think the best thing about this, Tom, is actually, let some time go away.
Yep.
You cast it, you know, we still got to get through Blue Beetle. We still got to see Aquaman, and then go silent for like, you know,
it will be basically for a year and a half outside of stuff on HBO Max, I believe, or Max, whatever
I think
you
that's,
want to call
I
it.
think that's, you know, because that's how you reboot. Like, let them forget about you for. It's like an actor that does like 3 to 5 movies in 1 year, and then they go away for like a year or two, and then boom, they
Yeah.
come back. Like, you want to see them again.
Yeah, that works that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Moving on here, we got Steven Simmons who says, "Does TMNT being owned by Nickelodeon answer why we get no mature movie shows? Feels like all media outside retro geared games merch aren't aimed, I think he means, toward small kids. At least we're getting a Ronin game." Yeah, I think this is a big part of it. In fact, Ronin, I think, was made on because Peter Laird has this deal where he can make up to like, I can't remember, it's 10 or 11. It's not up to 12, but he can do so many comics a year without having to deal with Nickelodeon, and he can do whatever he wants. And I think that's what the license was used for. His license was used for Ronin. Now there was some talks for a while of a Ronin, Last Ronin adaptation for like Netflix, but those have since just kind of went away. So I have no idea if that's still going to happen. But yeah, I think Nickelodeon is really kind of cutting themselves, off at the shins, or however you want to put it, or at the knees, because they could be hitting this franchise on both sides. You have now an established older fan base that would love to see an adaptation a bit more in line with the original 1990 film and maybe even closer to the comics. And you can still do things like Mutant Mayhem for the kids. That's my biggest gripe. I wouldn't have a problem with Mutant Mayhem, but I know that whatever's coming is probably not going to be any better because there is a live action Ninja Turtle movie coming. At least there was a plan for it, unless it's fallen apart. Colin Yost and his brother were supposed to be in charge of that. Some dude from SNL. So yay. More of the same Bayverse shit, pretty much. But yeah, no, Nickelodeon has been nothing but bad news for TMNT. And yeah, I think they would get the hint, considering the only thing that does sell is the retro type stuff. But no, they just don't seem to get it. Keep trying to reinvigorate it for a new generation and just not working. But I don't know if you boys have anything to say to that, but yeah. Guess not. Big Daddy MRI says a super sticker. Thank you so much.
Anything that comes with gaming and stuff, I'm like,
Wow, and it's Ninja Turtles, I figure,
Yeah, well, Ninja Turtles is all you, dude. I mean, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles is all you.
Yeah,
I like turtles.
There you go.
Como? What?
What?
I like turtles.
Who says that?
I like
You heard
turtles.
that before? The kid?
Zombie
The
kid.
interview? Yeah, the zombie kid. He's on a video interview. It's fantastic.
It's like, are you having fun at the fair? And blah, 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 blah. I like turtles.
I like turtles. I love it.
Big Daddy MRI, thank you for the super chat. Let me see what it is here. It is probably a thumbs up or popcorn. I gotta scroll back. My eyes are getting fuzzy. Red box of popcorn. Thank you so much for that. And we have, let's see here, Callum Lyle, who says it was about to leak credits. We got that. Thank you, Callum. Jared Dotio says DCEU has been realizing zombie projects for years, or releasing. Jesus. That's exactly what Gunn needs to avoid doing. Yes. And that's what it sounds like he wants to do, is make sure everything's good before it goes out, so we'll see. We'll see. Tennille89 says we're all dark and brooding with moms named Martha. Yeah, pretty much. Credit to Zeno the Stoic, says Tennille. Well, thank you for that. That's funny. Darius Munchausen says that is why it's called Fleabag, CC. Just saying. Yeah. I wouldn't want to sleep with her.
Actually, it should be more like Crab's Bag. So
I've never seen an episode of it, but I was reading the Vanity Fair and they described the very first scene, season 1, episode 1. That sounded horrible.
Dude, she gets down with a Catholic priest in that show. Like that's her.
CC.
But
no.
Big
Fleas,
hit, right?
Fleas are worse than crabs, CC. Because crabs doesn't necessarily mean your nasty ass don't wash yourself. It just means you slept with somebody who's nasty. If you got fleas, that means your ass is nasty in general.
All
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Does it get my argument? Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Be my
You
first.
know, you can get
Oh,
crabs just from one bad
just-
night in
it's-
Mexico or
we-
something like that. You know,
I thought it was gonna be Mexico.
I
Equally well.
just saying like where people are
Like-
really
That
drunk.
can be a bad night in Wisconsin.
It could be a bad night in Wisconsin,
This doesn't have the
but I ain't never
same.
had crabs.
A bad night in Arizona.
I've had lobster legs once,
Oh God!
or lobster the tail. I mean,
A bad night in Baton Rouge.
yeah, Baton Rouge. Last Millennial says, Paulie, what's your opinion if Adam Driver is Reed? Yeah, he's been up for Reed Richards. I don't know if you've heard that rumor.
I don't know, man. He's an interesting actor. For Reed Richards,
Yeah, I know. He sounds better for Doctor Doom.
Dr. Doolittle.
I can talk to animals.
Yeah. I mean, no. Listen, he's such a good actor that you forget his looks. He's got very unconventional leading man looks. But it would be nice to have like a handsome man playing Dr. Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I mean, like a Cavill.
Henry Cavill would be great, actually. Yeah, there you go. Maybe a little too buff, but Last Millennial says DC fans will probably reject Superman simply because he doesn't look as much. Actually, I think a lot of people are making comparisons to him looking like Henry Cavill, and that he didn't get the chance to make more content. Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't. At this point, it's almost like the time has passed. And that doesn't mean that James Gunn won't pull him back in at some point to do some kind of like Elseworlds, like Kingdom Come or something like that. You never know with an older Superman. But I get it. There's a lot of people who are just not going to be happy with it, and you're right. But I think most people just move on. I mean, it is what it is. Let's see here. We also have the Last Millennial has another one here. We got this one already. Whoops.
Yeah. Again?
I'm fucking high.
Oh,
Don't
here
worry
we
about
go.
me. What's your first thought? Says, I don't think it's George Lopez's line that's going to kill Blue Beetle. It's the fact that no one knows who Blue Beetle is. Maybe, but I'll make an argument. What's your first thought that, and I don't know how old you are, sir or ma'am, but I'm pretty sure you're sir, because we talked yesterday. I don't know how old you are, but if you were a little younger than us, then maybe you'd know there's like this whole generation of kids that know him from the cartoons. Because he was in like Justice League and he had his own cartoon and stuff. Because I was corrected on this myself because I said, "Oh, nobody knows who Blue Beetle is," and a few people corrected me one night. So I was like, "All right, so maybe there's a younger audience for this kid." I don't know.
Here's what I say. Let's just go with that. You're right. The fact that no one knows who Blue Beetle is. Okay, let's say you're right. They know who Sholo is. They know what Cobra Kai is. That generation between us and the younger ones have for a few years now gotten to really like Sholo as a young man, young actor, very likable. That's a big reason why people be drawn. I think for me and Tom that's.
And I stand corrected. It's Young Justice, but yeah, no, like
yeah.
Not only that, you don't need to necessarily be a well-known superhero as long as the film is good. And you got the point right with Cobra Kai is one of the biggest shows on Netflix
on the globe, and one of the biggest Brazilian model actresses is his female love interest. There's a few kind of like these, I want to say, pop culture elements that if it gels, you could be seeing some audiences show up to this. Again, it's got to come down to it's got to kick ass. So and like Tom says, it's almost good that we don't know who Blue Beetle is. Cool. There's no expectations. Well, Sholo's going to be what? Batman? What?
Yeah, no.
Anyways.
No, you got a point there. And then Mecha J says Blue Beetle is going to encourage the stereotype that George Lopez is funny. This I have a problem with. Like anybody, like why did they get anybody in the world? I can't stand almost. You know what? What's his name? Carlos Mencia is almost worse, but George Lopez.
Well, Lopez has been hitting a couple of movies lately.
He's better, but yeah.
Where he's displayed his drama chops, like in The Tax Collector, a couple other films, Spare Parts, and then Lopez versus Lopez. Obviously, he's got some comedic chops. Maybe he was the one that just did the best. You know, maybe that's who they always had in mind. There are, could Danny Trejo have done it?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think that Trejo gets enough credit for his comedic chops, because that
he doesn't.
Heck, holy cow!
He is. Well,
love that guy.
I know when we got to talk to him, he was amazing. So Charlie says, "Sorry guys, can't type a joke that's funny. Neither can I today, Charlie. I'm having a day." Pilgrim Media says, "I apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings. Did you? I don't know if you did." No. Brett Cohen says, "Wisconsin, you get crabs off the toilet seat. You might if you go to the wrong toilet." Joey says, Danger Mouse wants to know if Netflix bought Paramount and gave R&B a Trek talk show to curate the experience, think it would succeed on back catalog alone. There is this rumor going around that Netflix might buy Paramount. And I'm not going to say it's the craziest thing in the world. In fact, I've been hearing rumors for a while about Paramount being up for sale. Amazon was poking around.
They are cleaning up a lot of stuff right now.
They are.
And, so is Warner Brothers. I'm looking at this going, we may have some players acquiring pieces of those companies, but I don't think there's a whole lot of room for wholesale. So that's a different
Paramount has one of the chances, though, of being bought up wholesale. I could see that, just to kind of clean up their problems.
Well, that would, but see, again, this all comes down to the ill-fated idea that, you need to recombine Viacom and CBS together. That was stupid.
Well, they shouldn't have split them up in the first fucking place. That was the problem.
National Amusements, it was all about money. Seriously.
Well, so what you have here now is you have a situation where Paramount is one of the only companies that doesn't have a big media company behind them, like Comcast or, AT&T. So I can see that happening possibly. But as far as just succeeding on the back catalog alone, if that was the case, they would have done it. And then Paramount Plus, I think, is proof that that's not possible. I don't think it's possible for any of these studios. Yes, having a back catalog is a big deal and it can help make you a success like HBO Max. But I think one of the things that has kept Max from growing to the point that it could is an original show. Now, granted, they've had success from HBO shows, but now they've never really had an actual original HBO Max series that's been a hit besides Peacemaker, really.
Right. I mean, and they actually, once they went one particular direction and they were headed away from HBO Max into this new HBO Go to the HBO Max idea.
Better off calling it HBO List Max.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem is you ended up with, you ended up with some major issues with a lot of their shows, like what the Nolans did to Westworld and so many of these other things. And now they're so desperate to get additional revenue that they're packaging up some of their original shows like Entourage and Westworld and other things for redistribution on other people's streaming services because they figured out we made a lot of money doing this. Okay.
Pretty much. And then Markson 117B says, Paulie, have you seen the animated Spanish films Bird Boy or Unicorn Wars? Great movies brought to the States and available on YouTube.
No, but I will check them out.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's like, that's fantastic. But the main focus of the Latino Slant channel, which is mostly in English, is U.S. Latino projects coming out of Hollywood or independently. Then Latin America, it's nothing against any other countries. It's just like, that's been our laser focus lately because culture knows the U.S. Latino movie-going market, moviegoers is huge.
It's huge.
So I'm really into that right now, Mark. But thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, every time Paulie and I talk about this, we do it because there's so much data that supports this underrepresented. If you want to talk underrepresented, it's the Latino market or the Hispanic market, whatever you want to call it, because they represent at the box office. They overrepresent in huge numbers, and they do it for almost every film. It's really impressive.
And that's
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
Paulie
that's
and
a,
I talked about that
yep.
too, and we even got it from Taylor Hackford, and I didn't even think about it until he said it, and he's pretty much right that La Bamba is still the highest grossing Hispanic made and technically quote unquote led, if even though Lou Diamond Phillips is Filipino, but still.
No,
But
it's 100%
yeah,
Latino story, directors, cast,
director,
yeah.
writer, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still the highest grossing one, even more than Selena.
I mean Selena didn't do that very well in the theater when it came out. That's
not
the
the
thing.
original one. Yeah,
it's a cult. It's gotten that cult following and stand the test of time. That might change this year though.
But see, I remember that movie had some controversy, and that's why I think it did poorly at first, is because there was a big portion of the community turned against it because of Jennifer Lopez's background, and her playing the role was a big fiasco at the time.
I think if anything, it came out a little too early. Like it was only like 2 years
partially
after she died.
Maybe, yeah.
And then when J-Lo first got the role, they're like, why is a Puerto Rican playing, Tejana? But that was quickly, as soon as they saw her perform.
Well, and just, yes, I know Sandra, but he was saying that like Mexican American, I believe Taylor Hackford was referring to. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, technically, Lou Diamond was a half white, half Filipino and from Texas.
Yeah.
Hey, and listen, you talk about role reversal, and Tom knows this because we talked to everyone. Lou Diamond went out for the brother, and Esai was going out for Richie, and then Luis Valdez said, "Hey, why don't you switch it up?" And that was
wow.
Cool. Well, and that made sense. Yeah. Trenchman says Snyder Bros need to chill. If you love Cavill, support Warhammer. If you love Snyder, support Rebel Moon. Exactly. Don't attack actors and writers so crazy. Yeah, I mean, and not only that, there wasn't enough of them to show up for Black Adam.
It's sad.
It just,
right?
I mean, that was kind of it, and the same thing kind of with all the rest of the films involved with this business. And it's not, I'm not saying that a Man of Steel 2 couldn't have been successful. I just don't know if it would have been as successful as people think it would have, and it would have didn't be a major turn for the character, because that's kind of what set this whole thing off, and that's why I keep saying Snyder is a big part of it, because Man of Steel is ground zero for this whole thing. We can talk about Batman v Superman. We can talk about all the troubles of Justice League, all the way up through the Flash. But when it all boils down to, at the end of the day, is this thing was set off on a bad note to begin with. And that's why it's so important for James Gunn to get this right. Yes, you always should start your DC universe with Superman. He's the first, and it makes sense. But at the end of the day, if you don't get this fucker right, then it's done for from going out the gates. You don't matter what Batman movie you're doing or whatever after that, because this has to be good and it has to be successful. And we have not had a successful Superman movie basically since Superman 3.
Yep.
Superman Returns was semi-successful, but it wasn't successful enough considering the price tag it had. And Man of Steel disappointed big time.
Yeah.
And if you count BBS as I do as both a Batman and a Superman movie, that it was as successful as it was, it's still disappointed at the box office. It should have been a shoe-in for $1 billion. The reason it didn't is because word of mouth got around quickly, and it dropped off like a stone in a fucking river that first weekend.
Yeah.
You can see it because it had a hell of a first night opening.
It was huge.
It was huge, and then it went off a cliff. And that was because people were turned the fuck off. I even went to see it twice just to make sure I was not getting it, right? I was like, did I miss something? Because I actually got free tickets to go to the second night because it was so dark. People were complaining they couldn't see the movie. I was like, well, it's 3D, but it's not, something's off. It's muddy. So they gave us tickets thinking the 3D wasn't working. Oh no, it looked the same the second night. It's just the way the fucking movie looked.
Yeah, it was.
It's just bad.
Everything about the Snyderverse was dark. And I think that's not what you're looking for in heroes. Heroes bring the light to the darkness.
A little racist coming from your mouth.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, though, it is what it is. We're 10 years out past it. We need to wrap it up.
What?
Just like this show, the Snyderverse.
Oh, we're having fun. We're just getting warmed up.
We gotta go. I gotta go. I need to eat. I haven't eaten today.
Yeah, I got a show to prep for. I think I got to do a 4K for you. I haven't done one in forever.
So. I have a Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning reaction only video up.
And what did you think of it? I didn't get a chance to see your video.
Yeah, you didn't answer it earlier. No spoilers.
No, I can't, or else I get in trouble.
Okay.
It's definitely a part one.
Good.
It's a lot of fun.
Good.
The stunts, the filmmaking, it's incredible.
Good.
The cast is amazing. Haley Atwell, Isai Morales, what a villain! It's great to see him in a role.
Palm, what's her name? She was in that too.
Palm is vicious.
Oh,
Vicious.
Good. I can't wait.
Vicious, bro. It's action level, fight choreography level there with John Wick this year. So I think it's the best action film of the year. And despite there's a couple problems I have with it, despite those, Tom Cruise knows how to
entertain. He does. 100%. I can't wait. I'm very excited. I am going to see Indy tomorrow in the theater and give you my perspective on that, I think, in a review. I know that the guys are going to talk about it on Comics Division's channel, but I've got an afternoon live stream I'm doing. I'm doing another interview today with the Front Porch Conservative. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, so I'm going to go in blind. It should be fun. Yeah. Tom, thoughts?
Is he still talking? I'll plug one more thing, guy. Oh, there.
Oh, Mission Impossible, I tuned out.
On purpose, or just not?
I got the 4Ks, Culture, okay? I'm going to watch them.
Wait a minute, you've never seen them?
I've watched the first one and the second one, and I hated the second one so bad.
Second one's trash.
That I never wanted to go back. And then
it's better.
Kept bugging me.
It's better.
So I got the 4Ks. I watched part of the first movie. I'm like, damn, this is a pretty good movie. And then I was
a Brian De Palma film.
I had other shit I had to do.
Get past 3 and you will fall back in love with it. Anyway, we need to run, Tom. Are you going to outro your own self or what?
Likely. No. I don't know. I'm so fucked up right now. I'll probably need a nap. You can find me later, hopefully on 4K for you. Culture Casino, where can we find you? On your channel?
Yeah.
Doing
and everywhere else.
A 6-day minute little.
Like I said, I'm going to be on an interview later.
You already did your thing?
I did my 6-minute daily. Paulie did his thing. I think we're ready to go.
Is this like
real life?
What's that?
Is this just fantasy?
Oh boy. Now we got Queen lyrics.
Caught up in a landslide? No escape, from
reality.
Open your eyes.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Look up through the skies and see.
We used to do karaoke guys together.
Boy, I need no sympathy.
Subscribe to everyone here.
Please
Now,
do. And check out Flip City. Friends, if you're looking for real old school laughs, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine? Then it went woke? Well, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given.